that's so exciting, and it's so amazingly attractive.
Yeah, you're not laughing now, are you?
All right, I got a new chair. I told you I fell off the other one. It's over there looking. I have got a mild concussion now. OG's always early. Good to see you. But just for the record, as a lot of you will know, I have fallen asleep. Fallen asleep is generous, I know, 37, 20. Yeah, all right, I get it. But there is an actual risk of that. I don't want to be so low down there. You can see that definition. You can see that. You see that there. Work hard on that, There is an actual chance that I might just, especially considering it's a call-in, and but it's happened. It has happened. I went and had a test. Do you remember when I fell off my chair upstairs and I had 4 weeks off work? I didn't stream for 4 weeks. Well, the same thing happened. What happens is I sit on my chair with my legs crossed when I'm watching a movie. And so I'm leaning back, legs up on the chair. There's no counterbalance. So if I overdo it, I've got the back locked, but you can unlock the back of these. I don't know how to do it with this one yet. Oh, yes, I do. So what will happen is it's all right like that, but if you've got your legs crossed, you go with it. And when it first happens, like when it first happened last time, I was like, oh, wow, I got away with it. I felt my head hit the ground, but seems to be fine. Next day, migraines, vomiting, shivering, like withdrawing. And so it happened to me, Sunday or was it Monday? Like my other chair, I won't bother. Maybe it's worth having a look. Can you see those two bits? They're meant to be stuck together. See that gap there? That is meant to be attached to that. So it's in a bit of a sorry state. And the same this side. So that... Now, see, even lifting that. Friday night. What's it called? Concussion-atron. Anyway, I went for a check. I thought everyone was saying, get checked out. 2 members of staff moving house. Business ain't great. Not through lack of skill or ability. Change in the markets. And so, very testing. You've got to... When work's going well, it's quite easy to work, isn't it? You can all identify with that. Whatever your job is or your career is, when it's going well, you can put in the overtime and the extra stuff that, I know I'm going to do some more. When it isn't going so bad and you need to do more work, you're not motivated so much. Fucking hell, what am I going to do? And got a good friend, and he's a proper stoic. And he said to me, he said, all right. He said, let's assume your business collapses. He says, have you got enough stashed up to live? And I was like, not a chance, maybe 6 months. He said, all right. He said, so what are you going to do? I said, well, what I'd probably do is start a YouTube channel. I said, I'll put more time into this channel, like maybe regular slots, things you're meant to do as a YouTuber. I'll stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday afternoon, something like that. And then have a regular guest spot, have a regular things that make YouTube channels grow. Do the Dragon's Den videos, you remember how many new people we were having? That was the first time my channel grew. I am fighting a shadow banning at the same. Anyway, and he said, what else? I said, no, I'd write full time. And he said, hasn't that been the dream for the last 30 years? I said, well, yeah. And he said, well, when are you gonna give up work and write full time then? I said, well, the plan is to get to a time when I can do that. And he went, yeah, but you're 52 now. And it's a nice way of looking at things, man. That's stoicism. You know, I know it's not strictly stoic, but it is of that sort of accepting things and trying to find the positive in it. You know, I will write full time and maybe scrape a living selling my virtually unreadable novels. And my editor's gone. He has gone. I don't know whether he's just had enough of it or whether he's pissed. It's a real shame, but that needs sorting out. Right, I haven't even got the comments on, and I really wish I did have. Hello, David. Funny you should. I've just seen you. Packer, you up for it, mate? I really, really need your help. Mr. Gold saves the day for everyone. Honestly, Mr. Gold, yeah, amazing. Oh, well, that was all unnecessary, wasn't it? I don't know what happened. There was no internet problem. Craig says, got the bullseye and did the Jeez. Did it freeze this end, David? Did it freeze? Bosh, just was I going this end? I got the old Wheel of Doom, but I had a look at my internet and there was no problems with it at all. Anyway, back to Monsieur Gold. That's fucking great. And it is, that's fucking great. There's no doubt about it. Let's get spannered. We don't really have them. You can have one if you want. We'll discuss. Email. Ping me an email. Otherwise, everyone will ask. Chris@chrisdangerfield.com. Is that what you meant? I don't even know if that's what you meant. But what I do need. Hello, Willow. How are you, son? Misses me in it. Didn't win the trifle competition. They said her trifles were too deep. I said that you should get a longer spoon. I told you what, can I show them your trifles? She made a couple of lovely trifales, and I didn't even know it was a competitive event, but it turned out it was, and she didn't win. But let me just grab you them and I'll show you them. I'll tell you what, if you've got a sweet tooth, I have, although I've been living on durian. My missus has been away for so long. Oh, did I tell you? There's a bit of footage from the cremation. Trigger warning, if you've just lost someone, this might be a bit much. Of her sister's death, and it's a very traditional affair. There's all these sort of symbolic trees and twigs and all that underneath, and then it's almost like swaddling, like white cloth, almost like bandages. I think I mentioned this before, but I will blame the concussion. I've got to tell you about the concussion as well. Let me get Packer sorted as well. If you're up for it, Packer, I'll put the link in the chat. Tell me when you've got hold of it, because then I can get shot of it if you're up for it. No, it's all a myth. It's strong smelling. It's a strong smelling fruit, Willow, but it's gorgeous. Jeff says, if there's trifle floating about, I don't think there are losers. Do you know what I mean? That exactly. Exactel mutato. I'm just trying to get a picture of the second trifle. You look at these, like exactly that. there's no losers when these are being served up. Hang on, I know you can't see them, but I'll show you one at a time. So these are OG Scrub, Mrs. Me in it. This is one of the trifles she entered in the local trifle. What a different world. Look at that. Bosh. God. Let me see if I can show you that. Yeah, look, we'll have a little bit of a look at that. Look at the custard. Look at the chocolate. Is that it? That look. They look like little Swiss rolls or something at the bottom. Chocolate Swiss rolls. Or what are they called? There's a name for those. Ah, I've just remembered. What are they? Are they called something like chocolate rolls? Cream and strawberries on top. That sort of Jurassic layer in the middle. I'm imagining that. Well, that's custard, obviously, and then just probably brandy. Brandy. So that's one, and maybe I can do it like this. Oh, I think I can. Amazing. And that's numero deux, but that's more of a top-down view. Now, I don't know if that is Packer. Yes, it is. Right, that's sweet. Hang on a minute, Packer. I will welcome you. I just want to... I'm glad you noticed that, David. I was looking for a more obscure one, but I'm blaming the... I'm blaming the...
Why has it got little green pipe cleaners in it?
Listen, don't be nasty to Mrs. Me in it. I've just got her back on side. She sent me a very unhappy email the other week. What are you asking her? She can answer you for herself. Duran. Baz, have you actually eaten them? Because they are, yeah. The Cambodians call them the king of fruits. Where am I going? That's the one I want. Delete comment. Bosh. Right. So they are Mrs. Me in its big creamy ones. How are you, Packy? Very dark, son. It might be.
No, it's shocking.
It might. I know you live in the dark.
Hang on.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I'm a little bit dark, but let me quickly tell you about. I thought I should have a test. Falling asleep in meetings. I've done that before. I've fallen asleep in a meeting, Packer, like a computer meeting. Like in what's that called? What's it? Like a Zoom call. 3 times with the same bloke because he goes on and says nothing. Not 3 times in the same meeting, and that sort of makes it worse, doesn't it? But he one time he didn't even notice. Like he's going on, and I can feel it. This isn't this week. This is like years ago, and it was just tiredness. He's going on and on. I could just, in your eyes, and you can't, and you're like, and I was trying to angle my glasses to sort of cover my eyes a little bit, but that was causing my head to lean forward. And then I just went.
You one of them atmosphere vampires that sucks all the atmosphere out of the room? You one of them sort of people? Just sucks all the joy and everything out of a room. Just
right. I'll give you an example. Right, you've got 2 customer service agents. ChatGPT comes out. Perfect for that. Perfect. You can take a question, put it into ChatGPT, and say, answer this customer service question. Bosh, done. Change a few bits. What would you call it? Like clean it up a bit. But it's very good at that sort of thing. It's a large language model, and I want it to do a small language job. Especially when one of these agents' first language isn't English. So he has a meeting, this bloke, with the 2 customer service agents about ChatGPT. About 3 weeks later, I have a meeting with a pair of them, just see how things are going and that. When you've got a business that's remote, where everyone's working in different countries and obviously different, not even different offices, you have to have team meetings regularly, or people just feel like they're working on their own, and that's not a strong way to run a business. People who feel like they're part of a team because they are a team, you're not deceiving anyone. You're actually
Hello. He's
Why
gone.
is this happening today? I've got my internet's been fine. Listen, people, if it
happens again, what? Hello there. Am I still here? I'll just sit here quietly.
right, hello. What I'm
Hello.
going to do, I'm gonna log in on my phone. And I'm going to reboot my computer because we can't keep having this. This is ridiculous. If it happens one more time, I'll do that. All right. Let me just see if I can log in on here without it turning me off there. You're turning me on. You're turning me off. I don't want Instagram Live. Oh, I've signed in with the wrong. I really didn't want this. I wanted it to go. I thought it. You know, you can do a stream.
Eleanor, they are the old curtains. That curtain just doesn't match the others. The old ones are there. Look. but thanks for that. And if I ever get rid of them, your name's on them. All right.
That's amazing. No. How do I log out? Right. If it happens again, it shouldn't do. I don't know why it is all of a sudden, unless the Illuminati are all over us. Anyway, so I can't remember what I was talking about. Cut a long story short. I said story short. This could be fun for you people. So you know. But if I do
in one of them teen programs in the 90s, wasn't he? Like Saved by the Bell or something. Wasn't he one of them?
Oh, Shory Stalt.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Right, hang on. Let me just remind the grift. Entropy donations at the top, super chat at the bottom, and Packer's about to indicate in his first attempt. Yeah, boy, you can hang your it's quite good fun actually. You can is it? You can put your camera over that QR code and a link will come up on your screen. Go there and I will reply to your donation with a video. Like not now, but you get like 30 seconds. I'll tell you what though, it says you got a 30-second video, but I tried to reply to a couple the other day. I've done 30 seconds and it went, nah, upload limit is 30 megs. I was like, all right. So what have I got to do? Lower resolution or something? I didn't even know how to do it. So I just went, hello, mate, sorry. But it's quite nice being able to reply using video. I think SUBSTACK have done well there. I think it's a good thing. Anyway, so I go for this concussion test, and it was like not that I've ever done one, but I've witnessed plenty. It was like I've got this massive trifle on my other monitor. It's quite sweet actually. It's like a normal person. Packer, on your computer, I actually all scrubs. One in the chat. If you've got on your computer, what's it called, Packer? Like a screensaver. What is it? Like the image that's there when you're not doing anything.
Yeah, Wallpaper.
Give me a one in the chat if you've got personally selected wallpaper. You know, like a picture of your favorite pin-up lady, or a nice aeroplane, a plant, perhaps a dinosaur. Packer, what sort of things do people have?
I don't know. I have a selection of photos that come up.
There you go.
Didn't put on there. I didn't put them on there, but it's like them funny rocks in Northern Ireland.
So you used ones that were sort of default built into the computer.
They're built into something, yeah.
I have never had wallpaper. I couldn't even tell you what mine is now. Let me have a look. Let me.
My laptop's second hand, and I got it off a mate who does them up.
So he
asked me what I wanted on it, so I just told him, and he put that on as well. A couple of other things as well.
There you go. Hello, Weatherman. Good to see you.
That's it.
Nice.
Giants Causeway. Stuff
there
like that.
Are they
Pyramid,
octagons?
sunset.
Pyramid, sun's weight, sun. Hello, Otto. Otto's changed his avatar. It's the all-seeing hand eye.
Robert's got a computer.
Oh, it's Robert, is it? What the hell? Don't know about this Robert character causing problems everywhere. Good to see you, Weatherman. Lovely. Did you see those lovely Mauer locks? Packer did. What did you make of the Mauer locks, Packer?
They looked very much like some locks that we have on drugs cabinets. They look like that kind of.
Well, if it's any consolation, I can't pick them. Not a chance. Well, I could, because there's a tool that's made for picking them. But that's easy, you know. When you've got that's called a dedicated tool, and if you've got a tool made to pick a particular lock, it's just a question of working out how to use it. But I couldn't pick it. Well, I probably could. That's a lie. I could probably pick any lock given the time, you know, and the dedication. And if Linda Lusardi, circa 1984, was behind it, I'd have that open before you could say, Linda Lusardi, you're my true love.
It was very interesting with all the little castellated teeth on top of the pins. Yeah.
To make it,
all good.
There's no pins in the lever lock, but I do appreciate you going for it.
Are they?
Yeah, there are gates in lever locks, but you're talking about those little castellated pieces, aren't you? Yeah. That will make picking it harder. That is a security feature. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it? But I tell you what, that, you know, for locks that are like 30, 40 years old, just beautiful. You know you're a lock picker when you just sit there turning it going, wow. And there weren't any grease or anything on them. They're sort of like, and no friction. There was a little bit, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't think locks are what people want to hear. Right. I think we should get John Palmer. How many times do you think I've heard that? We need to sort our stream out as well. No way. There's a little bullet in here. Dirk Bogart's calling the shots. Look. Good Lord. Well, things have changed on the internet. Oi, Nick Ricata then. Look at Packer without his bins, everyone. Look at Packer without his bins, quick. Quick, look at him. Come nearer. No. Go on, I'll take mine off. Fucking hell, I'm so blind.
Yeah, me and all. I can't see anything now. It's all blurred.
Wow.
Right, go on then.
Oh, I ain't getting that close. Jesus. You'll regret that. You'll regret that. I've done that before. Is 42 in the stream? That's all right. I've sorted it out. I'm doing what he told me last time. Right. I have got some clips, but I don't think John Palmer cutting you a bit of slack there. Look. Yep, sugar puffs and asparagus are another one that you shouldn't eat if you're looking to entertain horizontally at the same night, unless of course the lady happens to like. What's going on with the other half tonight?
She's got a bad eye, so she's talking about it now.
We used to say that as kids. We used to say bad eye. If you got, like, imagine an older kid walk past you on the way to school and just sort of give you a dig, your other mate would go, oh, bad eye. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I'll tell you what it was. It was because a kid got hit in the eye with a cricket ball. And we were all laughing, obviously, because you're young boys and some kids just got hit in the eye with a cricket ball. And when he sort of looked up after going, it looked terrible. My mate, Daniel Holmes was his name. I still talk to him occasionally, like once every 10 years. Nice bloke, though. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Locally known as Mad Dog Malloy. I don't think it's the Malloy from is it Beckett? Yeah, Beckett's writing. It's definitely not. Oh, come on then, bad eye. Can we have it out? And then it'll stop, because all I'm hearing every minute is she's got a bad eye.
She's got uritis.
Do you want to tell us about your eye or not?
Do you want to tell them about your eye or not? No, I tell them. Do you want to tell them? No, she don't. No, she's not dressed for it.
In that case, tell her to shut the fuck up. 100. It's all or nothing. No, don't tell her that. Don't tell her. I really like her. Don't, please. Don't. That's
Apparently, that equals 2.
That's me playing up. Right. Okay. It's good that we've. I'm sorry to hear you got a bad eye, but I'm glad you've reminded me of saying bad eye. Packer, you're very
Yes.
good at callbacks and things. So at some point when something goes wrong, drop a bad eye. It's a new scrubbism. It's a new scrubbism, I think. Bad eye. Right. I do not understand maths. I'd love to. I think there's something quite poetic about it all, sort of. And there are some really strange things about numbers. You know, look at pi. Look at, there's that weird number that you can work out circumferences and diameters and radii. Radii. Tried. I do actually understand that, but when it gets anyway, I have invented Dangerfield's paradox. This isn't me bigging myself up. This is me making myself look like a twit, because I've got a funny. There's another one. The Fenerbahce section. There's another one, of course. Hello, Keys to the Kingdom. Nice to see you. Hello, LC350. He's quite happy to talk about locks. He got a lot of lock picks in the post, and he's been.
Have you heard of the
finding locks all over the place?
The Rick Astley paradox.
Rollo's got he's got a Jap's eye. Rollo, come on. keep it like that. Never change. Hang on, look, she's here. She's got a condition called bad eye. What's that? UV ultraviolet tits have you got? They glow in the dark. Sorry to hear you've got that condition though. I don't know what it is, but you don't want it, do you? Probably not nice. No. Does it rub? Do you rub it at school into the school dinner and give it like a Parmigiano covering?
It's not contagious.
No. What, over
Otherwise you would, yeah.
Cheers, John. He's so easily kept happy, John. John, how about next week me and you do our thing? That'll be a wunderbar. Condition called bad eye is actually excellent, isn't it? Now, Dangerfield's maths paradox. Now, I'm not here going, look, Jeff's getting a bit bitchy. He's getting a bit handbags at dawn. Isn't that just a fancy name for pink eye? What's pink eye? Before I say, isn't pink eye just a fancy name for haven't slept? Do you remember that advert in the 80s? It was like businessman on a plane, and he went, "Hi, John." He went, "You look a bit tired overnight on the red eye." And I remember saying to my mum, "What's the red eye?" And she didn't know, but she tried to blag it. She was like, "Well, businessmen, they tend to go overnight on the red eye." Oh, thanks. Not sure you've added anything to the question there. Repeating the question counts as an answer. Anyway, let's go back. This Dangerfield's maths paradox is not, I haven't discovered something. I've just confirmed my complete inability to understand maths. Oh, I did say I'd give Mumford the invite. I had a great chat with Paul last night about it. He was talking about music and I was talking about literature, but I didn't even update that I'm live in the Scrubs lifeboat. One day I'm going to test not doing Twitter, Getter, my community tab, Telegram, all the places I post it, and see if it makes a shit of difference of how many people come here. Because it's a real.
Well, if it does, just put them back one at a time and see what happens then.
Well, that's how you test. That is exactly how you do it. Well done. Sort of Ether Elephant, sort of. Right. Let me just send this to Mumford in case he'll probably be very tired. He hasn't even read my message inviting him on. Let me just tell him. Hello, mate. That's the invite. I'm streaming right now. If you want to come on for 10 minutes, they all adore you. That would be lovely. No worries if not. You haven't read my previous message, so I doubt you will. You're probably a kip. I mean, it is 2 o'clock in the morning over here, people. 2:15. 12 minutes to 2. Right. Dangerfield's paradox. Right. Let's assume I'm 50 years old and my younger brother is 25. Right? Now, I'm going to blame this on the concussion when it's so... I know that this will be easily explained, but I just can't work it out. I'm 25 years old. My brother... No, I'm 50 years old. My brother is 25. So he's half my age. Right, Packer?
Yep.
Everyone? I'm 50. My younger brother's 25. He's half my age. In 5 years, I'll be 55. In 5 years, he'll be 30. But he's no longer half my age.
Right.
Why?
That's how numbers work.
That's not an answer. You've just told me people occasionally, entrepreneurs...
He will always be 25 years younger than you. How can that not be true? If he was always half your age, he wouldn't always be...
Yeah, but we're both getting older at the same time.
Yeah, so that's why he's always 25 years younger than you. At some point, he reaches half your age because both your ages are changing.
See, I can't work that out. You've explained it to me, and I get it. But I don't know how you can be half someone's age and then not be half their age. That's the bit I don't understand.
Because neither of you stay that age.
Yeah, but if I had half a cheesecake and a whole cheesecake and left them there for 5 years...
Probably not a good analogy.
Right, Crusher Grape says 25 is fixed, your age isn't.
Yeah, half of 50 is fixed, which 25 is. And you've known that from the moment your brother was born.
Jess says you'd have diabetes. Willow says it's like a broken clock. He's right twice a day. Is it the same logic as that, Packer?
Kind of.
Kind of's not really yes, is it? Bad eye. Eleanor says this is one of those trip you over maths questions. Fuck off, you're making me suicidal. Sorry, Eleanor, you've changed. She was so nice when she first arrived. Now it's fuck off. Suicidal. No, I'll tell you, I am in that respect, certainly, Neil. It's just not my thing. When you were 26, you were 26 times his age. There you go, Rollo. There you go. There you go. I still don't really get it, though. I'm sort of real. It's because 25 is half of 50. Age has nothing to do with it. There you go. I'm confusing two sets.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. I'm confusing. I don't know. I don't like it, though. It makes me feel a bit cold. Buddha said it's not good to be cold. Why not, G? Hello. Are you the other naughty? I've got that completely wrong. Nice to see you anyway. He's still half your age. You're just shit at maths. Nice one, Johnny boy. Bad eye. Moody Edge just got double vision. No, you just got two eyes. You'll be all right. They end up working. Hello, Sophist. Oh, I could tear a tissue. Right, should we see if someone wants to come on and see what they got to say, Packer?
Go on then. I was just going to tell you the Rick Astley paradox, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, and I didn't tell you the bloody concussion.
Well, I'll do mine, and then.
No, yeah, for sure. I think you told me before, but again,
did I?
It rings a bell. Or I saw the meme or something like that. Yeah, let's have it.
If you ask Rick Astley to give you his copy of Up, he's never going to give you Up. But because he's never going to give you up, he is at the same time going to let you down.
So he's going to have to do one of those, even though he says I'm not going to do either of them.
He's never going to give you up, and he's never going to let you down.
I've met Rick Astley.
Oh.
Rubbish story though. I was doing a script edit. He conned me, this bastard. He said to me, "Would you look at my screenplay?" He said, "I'm making a film. I've got the funding. You know, I've heard that so many times." And he said, "I was wondering if you'd have a look at it and maybe do a rewrite or two." I was like, "All right, well, I'll have a look at it." So I'll give it a quick read through. Fucking shit. But, you always need a few quid. And I got back to him and I explained to him, I had a sheet of paper with notes on it, but I didn't really need it because I knew what I had to say to him. And I said it all to him. And he said, okay. He said, how much? I went, a monkey. I said, I want 500 quid. And he said, all right, I'll give it to you when the job's done. I said, what are you talking about? I've just done the job. He went, what? And I went, eh? And I just thought, not a chance. He expected me to read and rewrite his screenplay for £500. I expected £500 for the work I'd already done. And he went, no. He said that wasn't what we agreed. I said, no, we didn't agree it, but that took me about 6 hours to go through that and work out and present, come all the way into town and present to you all the changes that I would suggest. You expect me to do that for nothing? Cheeky cunt went, well, you have. And I just looked at him thinking, you're so close. You're so close. And there's a wall behind you. But I got him back. He ordered 8 grams of cocaine off me. And that was back in the day when it was like 50 quid a gram. So I said, yeah, no problem, 400. He gave me 400 quid. I ain't seen him since. Never heard of his film either. Emma G is, when he's 50, you'll be 75. It'll be 2/3. Emma, you're just twisting my melon, man. Blogs says, is he on the wacky backy? But he spells backy, so it's more like, is he on the wacky bashy? Never mention the crystal boucher, young blogs. He's a weird one, any blogs. How are you, Bill?
He's very strange. I do like him, though.
I won't bore you with my concussion test. Actually, it was funny to be there, but I haven't really got the chops at the moment to tell a story that will make it worthwhile. But let me put the link in the chat. Hello, Dennis. How are you, man? Long time no see. Maybe you've been here and just lurking, or right. The link's in the chat. One person at a time, unless they're people I know I can handle together. But when it's more than one person, it usually gets a bit out of hand and stupid and not interesting for other people. It's lovely to see Matt Zucker back on the firm, though. That's lovely. Hello, Mr. McCoy's in as well. Moody Edge. I said hello to you. Didn't I, Moody? I don't know. Bertie shits peas. Is pink eye always a sexual symptom? I just thought that was bad eye. I just thought that was like, I don't know what pink eye is. It's sensitive.
That is, pink eye is transmittable, but that ain't what she's got.
Did you just say your missus had an STD?
No.
You've got a conversation to have. You've got to talk. hang on. What did I want to also talk about? Ricator Law. Nick Ricator. Remember we talked about him on the last stream? The Law Tube bloke was.
Yeah, what's happening?
Oh, someone else has given me a super chat. Bloody hell, lovely days. It's Bullet as well. He comes back and he lands with a bounce. He says, "Don't do, don't do favors of people. Favors have a habit." Well, it wasn't even a favor. I just thought if you're asking a writer to read a script and do to summarize what needs doing, that's work. That's like getting a build around and saying, "Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of getting a lot of flagstones put down," and then you doing a survey of it. Working out the costs and measuring up and all that, having a look at the earth. And then going.
That is what happens.
Yeah, yeah.
And you go, "This is how much it will cost," and they go, "Nah."
Yeah, you're right, actually. But I got him back, and I not only did I get him back, but I got him back in the most horrible way. Thank you, Bullet, for that. Lovely. Much appreciated at the moment. I'm having stressing out. He when I say I never saw him again, I I give the gear, this is all fictional of course, to a mutual friend, and it was just inositol, which I used to use to cut the Charles, and it was just 100% that. So not only did he get robbed, but he got it, like saw it in the baggie, thought touch, got ready. He probably thought, right, before I go out, rack up a quick one. You bastard. Weirdly, my phone was off as well. Well, he should have paid me for my work. I've done some good work as well. Emma G says, "Kick him off, Danger. That was bad." I'm not sure who. Everyone seemed. I
don't know what's going on. What's going on?
No, I don't. Jeff said that made me want to hang myself. Eleanor, that was
my joke. I think they're talking about my joke.
No, I don't know what's going on either. That's why I desperately wanted you on. And have you got a concussion, Packer?
No.
That was a little bit camp of you then. You went, no.
I was scratching my ankle.
You nearly said knackers, didn't you?
No, it's ankle.
It's getting a bit like that, isn't it, Honey Monster? What a bad eye. Emma, ooh. I think something bad happened, but I wasn't quite sure what. John's still laughing. He's having the time of his life. Old JP. JP, let's sort it out for next week. I'll ping you an email. We're going to do a whole stream of JP. Right, listen. So Nick Ricator. Very quick summary, if you don't know. When the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial was big, loads of attorneys and lawyers and barristers got big on YouTube. The biggest of the lot, Nick Ricator.
He was in there, wasn't he?
He was. No, I don't know if he actually went. No, one of them did, but I don't know if it was Nick. No, too lazy sitting at home taking drugs. But he might have done, no, Packer, but I was glued to it. And out of all the YouTube channels, apparently, certainly at the time, Tim Paul gets the most super chats. But Nick Ricator, from nowhere, already rich lawyer, comes in at second. I used to watch his streams going, hang on, he's talking, what's he talking about? He's only showing videos of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard that I can watch anywhere else. And it was like $100, $200, $100, like literally bosh. I was sitting there, the geezer's done $6,000 in half hour. I was like, wow. Lawyer. Anyway. So he got really famous, but people started getting a bit funny with him. And I'm not judging him about alcohol and drug use. And I'm not going to separate those two. We'll just say substances. He started looking a bit ropey. His streams started getting a bit weird. He started making sort of strange references to the lifestyle, if you know what I mean. And anyway, he got raided. His house got raided. His kids at school, the teachers were going up to him and saying, "Is everything all right at home?" And they were like, "Well, we don't really get fed. And I've been wearing these clothes for the last 6 months." I'm exaggerating a little bit, but the other kids were complaining to the teachers that they smelt. The kids of a lawyer who was earning like $6,000 in half hour streaming weren't getting they weren't getting bathed, showered, change of clothes, or fed. Now it gets weirder. The 9-year-old tested positive for cocaine. Now, I'm not saying that that Nick Riccati went, "Go and have a line," or "Go and have a pipe."
It's probably had it on his cornflakes.
Yeah, the 9-year-old might have found it, looked online and thought, "Oh, go on," like we used to do with mum and dad's like miniatures. Do you remember that? I used to drink my mum and dad's booze all the time. Well, all the time. That's an exaggeration. I started when I was about 11. Went until I was 30. Another super Shah. Would you like to read this one? It's LC350.
Having a right chuckle.
Lovely. Nice one, man. He's on it. He's on the lock game, him. He keeps finding locks everywhere. Finding. I don't think they were lost, to be honest. They're all boxed. Every time you send me a picture of one of these locks you found in its box. Did you find it in Wix?
Found it in the catalogue, or he found it online, or he found it hanging in the.
Yeah, you're gonna have trouble shopping from Amazon, aren't you, Packer? Oh, bad eye. You made a right mistake there. Another super Shah, Hans Worst. What should I do when a woman cashier, female please, at the super duper is holding back a hysterical laugh like a mad person when I pay, which makes me feel shit. She even looks just wrong. Other people say she is mad. Hans, you don't know how weird. You don't know why that's as weird. That's weirder than you think it is. This whole stream is like a Mobius strip that's cutting itself. Yeah, because my mate William Self, the author, I told him about the girls at Super Duper. And he pretty much suggested that to me. He said it. I said to him, when I go in there and try and talk Khmer to them, because I could say "Thou own socks by day," and that means "Hello, honey, are you all right? Are you?" Well, it actually translates as "You, honey, health, happy, yes or no." It really does. That's the literal translation. Nice language. But I go in with, what is it? I haven't done it for a while. Oh, God, I've forgotten it. But that's so wrong. When I say it to my girlfriend, she's like, and I go, okay. She's like, no, it means nothing. And they just sort of sit there trying not to laugh at me. And it's become a bit of a thing because, I flirt a bit with them and it's next to a brothel and a casino and it's always full of totty. But old William Tell, he said to me once in an email, he said, just to point out, it's not only the cashiers in Super Duper that think you're a touch... What's the word? Eccentric. But I think it wasn't eccentric, like eccentric, but a bit more of a pejorative. Something like mental health problems or something. So that's really weird, Hans. You've almost super chatted the last paragraph that a friend emailed me which is very strange, obviously, for me. How did you do that? That's what I want to know. Maybe I've been building a relationship online with Hans, and Will hasn't actually emailed me for 2 years. Imagine proper stalker action. I fucking hope not. I've told him some right dark stuff. Although I am starting to worry, that would be a right old bad eye, wouldn't it? Imagine that was happening. Are you
Yeah,
scared?
and Anne's just happens to say, or Will says he's coming out there to meet you, and you get all excited, and then we never see you again.
And then next week it's Danger Hands. And it's like my face has been cut off delicately like a surgeon by the name of Hans Worst and like sewed onto his face. And he just comes on going, I don't know why I'm 50, but my brother's half my age, yeah? It's creepy, but it fits. It fits the role. It fits the bounce of the ball of this stream, do you feel, Picard?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Right. What were we doing? No one wanted to come on, but it would appear.
Did you put the link in? Did you do that?
I'll do it again. I'll put the link in again, people. A lot of OGs aren't here. The usual suspects aren't here. Hello, Mr. Bontoft. Hello, Jessica. Have I said hello to you, Jessica? Danger eye. Bad one. Oops, I've twisted it. Oh, hey, John. Otto says, I have a full head of hair. Not my head, though. I'll tell you what, I watched Seven last night. I don't really know what. I'll tell you why. Someone showed me I watched a short and it had Brad Pitt and it had these weird people trying to kill him. And he just clicks his fingers and his pit bull tears them to pieces. I thought, what film's that? And someone in the comments said, I think it's Seven. And I've seen Seven. I thought, that doesn't seem like the character from Seven. But it was a long time ago that I saw it. And I didn't get to the end because the end of Yesterday's, although I saw it coming, not very early, about 10 minutes before the end. Brutal that was. Horrible ending. Or unnecessary. I felt like it wasn't a nice thing. Hello, Woodlander. There you go. We've got people in. We got Woodlander in. Marzipan's in with a hen low. Hen low, chickens high. Ask Billy how tall he is. My friend Billy had a 5-foot willy. He showed it to the girl next door. She thought it was a snake and she hit it with a rake, and now it's only 4'4". Remember that one, Picard?
Vaguely, yeah.
Or variations of that.
Something like, yeah.
Ian's being Scottish. So here, let's have a look at this. This is, I want to show you Nick Ricata. So the 9-year-old kid tested positive, and on the cocaine thing, it's got like Ted, not the original Ted. I don't believe it. It is. It's Fireplace Fisherman Ted, ladies and gentlemen. Long time no see. How are you? Can you hear me?
Oh, wow. Hang on. I need to pause. Yeah, I'm very well. Let me pause the original stream on YouTube. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
You're all good. Look how excited Packer is, Ted. He was wobbling a bit then.
I was nodding.
Nogging?
I'm trying to get this fucking camera to line up with my bastard head.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right. How are you, Ted? It's been a while.
I know, yeah. I very rarely catch your streams these days. But that's always been a problem with work and timings and all that shit. We've been through it before.
Is business going well?
No.
I'm glad you're saying that. Not because I want your business to go well, but no, hang on, that come out wrong. That obviously
Didn't it?
I'm glad you said that.
bad Right. What? Let me explain. No, obviously not. I've always been impressed with your entrepreneur. I like entrepreneurs. You've taken risks. People don't understand what it's like running a business. It's a fucking nightmare. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the stream when I said, when work's going well, you're happy to do the overtime. You're happy to put the extra like 9 yards in and work the weekends. When it ain't going so well, it's hard to motivate yourself, but that's when you need to work more. But the cost of living crisis, which is a real thing, we're seeing it so much this year. It's causing us problems.
It's not being spoken about, but it never went away. There you go. It was like the first thing that I mean, I've just had really sort of bad luck, I suppose, in terms of like the timing of choosing to start a business in the particular industry that I did. So it's like we started and then COVID. And so it's like literally the first year that I actually bought the business and owned it, the government said shut it down. Following that, we kind of come back. The economy's not great because obviously everyone's like coming back in this weird state where people have been working at home.
And on top of that, everyone who lost money.
Massively.
Sorry, I spoke over you. Carry on, Ted. Apologies.
Sorry, no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. And so it was like this real struggle to like for things to sort of normalize again. And then just as things were even in a keel, the energy crisis. I don't know whether that was in line with the beginning of the Ukraine war. I'm not 100%, but gas went just fucking through the roof.
Bombing gas fires.
We literally went from selling like mainly gas fires to every single person walking through the door going like, oh, now what stuff? Wood burning stuff.
That's right, because Packer was talking about getting the wood, and you explained to us that actually it doesn't work out as cost effective in the end. And for people who don't know, Ted does like luxury fireplaces, and I mean luxury, like, you know, those lovely minimalist houses with those big sort of marble tables that are too big to fit in anyone else who watches my stream's house, let alone a fireplace.
I've made one of those marble tables now. I've got one in the showroom.
There you go. See, but we you know, I've landed on my ass a couple of times, and I've told the story so many times I won't go through it again. But then managed to build it all up again, laid off staff, and then re-employed them. You know, we're not by any means going, but if it carries on like this. And the change in if the changes in market conditions, i.e., everyone's skint, I'm not sure how long I'll get out of it. A year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you know. And yes, you have to adapt to changing market conditions. That's part of running a business. But you know, Amazon own 50% of the American consumer durables market. You know, and it's like celebrated. Oh, Jeff Bezos, yeah. You know, the amount of businesses that bloke must have put out of business, the amount of families that bloke's sunk. Because you can't compete with people who are delivering the same day. And like
the worst thing is that knowing that, we still use it.
Oh yeah, no, I had exactly the same conversation with Packer, I think, last week. Yeah,
do it all fucking time. She's like, I hate Amazon. We need this thing in the business, and we need it kind of tomorrow. Oh yeah, just get it on Amazon.
Through Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think anyone actually likes it. But
it's a hard habit to put down. It's like when people went to high street butchers and bakers. As soon as that became available in the supermarket, you go into the butchers specifically just for the meat, go into the bread. Yeah, convenience, we've all, we're going to circulate towards that as human behavior. Totally.
However, I think that's a very good example and an encouraging example you've used there, because what tends to happen, and it's happening with Amazon, because of the way it works, the quality of the goods are starting to go downhill. Not all of them, but get some nice photos, get a nice little video, get a little AI generated lady going, look at our new blah 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 blah. And then when you get it, you're like, hang on, what's this? This ain't what I saw on there. And like the example you use of people getting their meat at the supermarket, people started going back to butchers because the quality, once they've got the custom, they want to save money, so the quality and that all started going down. And I know that from talking to people in that industry. So maybe Amazon will have its day. It's made customers so entitled. So I had a bloke complaining the other day that his order wasn't there, and I said, when did you order it? He said, yesterday. And I said, well, that's a little bit quick for Royal Mail, isn't it? He said, yeah, but I paid for a next day delivery. I said, oh, okay, sorry. In that case, I said, let me have a look at it. Because one of my staff is off work sick, so I'm having to do customer service, and I'm shit at it. I just want to say, how about you stick that up?
Fuck right off.
When we were hiring our customer service team, we got these tests to see whether people had the necessary skills to be a customer service agent. You can get all these different tests for different jobs, and when you hire in remote workers who you haven't met, you get them to do these sort of questionnaires, and it gives you a percentage, right? But me and my business partner done them as well, just to test the test, so to speak.
I'd definitely fail. Outstanding failure.
I scored 13% as a customer service agent.
I bet I could get lower than 12.
And the thing is, you think you can double bluff them, sort of thing, and but they're very clever, these tests, because they account for you trying to sort of spin it. Do you know what I mean? Very interesting. But yeah, a lot of my friends are struggling at the moment. So when I say I'm glad to hear that,
it's a semblance of reality.
It just makes me feel that it's not me, it's
just you, or just it's totally across the board. It is. I mean, I know lots of people in lots of different industries, and pretty much there is a shyness to buy right now, just like there was leading up to the 90s recession.
Oh gosh,
the 2000 recession hit us all just like overnight. It was like there wasn't much talk about it leading up to it.
Yeah.
Whereas the 90s recession, people knew it was coming.
I don't know anything about it, so you'll have to enlighten me. Really,
I take most of it from sort of explanations of the 90s recession from probably my father, who's no longer with us now, but he benefited throughout that by sort of moving property at that time. But I think there was an awareness that it was coming, whereas I think the last sort of recession there wasn't too much of an awareness. It was caused by mainly by American companies offering mortgages to anyone who wanted them. You know what I mean? It was like strippers with 5 houses.
Nothing wrong with that. I'd rather 5 strippers in one house, but you can't have everything. Yeah, you're talking about the subprime mortgages. I think, excuse me, there's a bit of that in the Wolf of Wall Street, isn't there? But
yeah,
you can make your business worth more just by lending money, because then in theory your business is worth the money that you're owed, and then on the back of that you can make purchases and whatever. But you ain't getting that money from, like you say, those 5 strippers who are earning a tenner a night, and then when they can't pay it back. But it's a pity though, man. It's a bit. I've already got friends who have it's gone. They said, no, it's all gone. I've got nothing. They've got a few quid tucked away, but not enough.
Mouse Cat said 92 to 95 were awful times, followed by Spanish Chicken saying 92 was great, got a cheap house.
And this was it. My dad
that goes for you, isn't it?
exactly the same. He managed to bargain his way up massively from a semi-detached house that, he'd made 60 grand or 70 grand on, but then leveraged the collapse in the housing market with a brand new housing company who'd built an entire street, couldn't sell a single one of them.
Wow.
And he bought the show home full. He's like, yeah, I want that one with all the carpet and everything.
I was just about to say, I had a mate live in one of them. He didn't own it, he rented it. But the landlord was such a tight bastard. The carpet had the company logo every sort of 3 meters. Like, you'd sit there. I remember it was a blue carpet anyway. It's like, whoa. But with these orange ovals, and I can't remember what it said in it. I don't know, Barrett or something. And, first thing you say when you're sitting in there, like, did you choose that carpet? And he's like, no.
Fortunately, there were no logos.
So your old man, he saw the house price, the housing market collapse, and he just bought, sold, and
No, it was just a one sale event. I don't know that he did predict anything. Perhaps it all just happened at the right time, but he did actually manage to take advantage of, the collapse. So he sort of had sold, a house that he'd bought 12 years before. And because the boomer generation, which I hate referring to those kind of terms, by the way, Chris, but that they have seen those sort of escalations in property value. And so he'd seen a 60 to 70 grand increase in the 12 years that he owned that semi-detached house. And then was able to reach for a house that he shouldn't really have been able to buy because no one was buying them because the crash had happened.
And just with the money he made on the other house.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So he obviously offered them way below the value that they were hoping to sell them for, but basically they couldn't sell a single one on the street. Yeah. He was in the construction industry in one frame or another, and so he knew the people who'd built these houses, and he was like, well, I'll give you that.
That's brilliant, that, isn't it? It's park where you like, Chris. Down that street, you ain't got any neighbours, have you?
I don't drive.
Oh yeah, when we moved in, there were no one else on the street, and literally it just went our back fence and then fields and meadows for a long way back.
I didn't.
And honest to God, that view right now today is just street after street after street after street. For another half a mile.
I didn't put the 2 and 2 together and realise that you were his boy and you were living there. Of course, I thought you'd left home or something, but no, it's 30 years.
This is years ago. Yeah, I was 9 when I think we moved into
What was that like, living in a town with no cheer, so to speak? Quiet.
I just got. It wasn't far enough. It wasn't that far away from where I'd grown up.
Okay.
And so pretty much any free time that I had on the bike, 1.5 miles back down to where I grew up.
Yeah, okay. So that's good. I just want to say
I still had all my friend networks and stuff like that. And then when we went to school, I went to school in that town, in that community.
Not much of a change really in terms of your upbringing. Ted, can I just say hello to Lee?
Of course, say hello to him.
When I was having a terrible time last week, I streamed and I shouldn't have done, and Lee was on. Lee's been on this stream for years, and he just made a joke, and I took it very badly and banned him. And that's overreacting. And as soon as the stream finished, I reinstalled him. He wrote to me, the bigger man, actually. I mean, I reinstalled him, but he wrote to me and apologized. He didn't do anything wrong, really. But I thought that was quite nice. And so I said, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't really have streamed. So nice to see you, Lee. Very nice to see you.
I'll announce that I potentially could say anything that will get me banned at any moment.
I don't like banning people, you know. And everyone I have banned, I've always said, I'll next day you'll be unbanned unless it's the repeat offences. Ted, what? I mean, I don't want you to talk too much about your private life and your private financial life because it's a bit weird and vulgar. But would you?
If I can go a business as well, like it's boring.
Would you be in trouble? I mean, because for me, I'll give you I've obviously been having meetings with my business partner and other people. I'm a member of a forum. I might have I got your email. You might.
Yeah, a long time ago I emailed you.
If you've emailed me, I'll be able to find it. I'll send you something that might help you out.
Search the word Ted and you'll get it.
That's what I was going to do. Oh no, you sent me where the Mekong and the Tone Sap joined. So I'll have that email.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know, it comes a time where you're throwing money down you're investing in more products, you're investing in more marketing, more advertising. And, you know, a lot of businesses, the first thing they cut is the advertising because it is an expense. But
you've just said the biggest swear word twice in a row to me.
What, advertising?
It fucking does my head in.
You want to try a bit online?
Absolutely does my head in. Sometimes, like, I suppose the only analogy you could get is, you know, someone's walked you in blindfolded into a room and said there's a dartboard somewhere and you've got, you know, 3 you know, you might get it. And the people who then sell you the sort of dream that you will get it are completely, you know, agnostic if it doesn't happen. It's just like, well, you know.
Well, with e-commerce, the first one you have to do SEO and SEM, but SEO is your first one. That's getting on the top of Google, but not the sponsored link, not the one you pay for. But you've got to do that as well. Yeah,
my SEO shit, but I am pretty much doing what I need to be most of the time with the other. Yeah. The weird thing is, and you know what? I should have spoken to you about this many times. I should have emailed you about it. And we shouldn't be talking about it now on a stream with lots of other people watching. But either way, when you set up the sponsored link, you're going to be at the top. You've got all your data. You're completely happy with it. Yeah?
Yeah.
It works for about 2 weeks and then switches off.
Well, no. What happens is
they still keep taking your money. You still get the clicks, but none of the clicks actually amount to phone calls or people walking through the door.
You're talking about they're not converting to sales, so that's a return on investment.
It's almost like it's bots because if they were real people looking,
if Google got caught out for botting paid clicks, they'd be fucked, man. They'd be taken to court and it'd all be over. And they don't need to because
I mean, I get that, but the moment you fettle with that account, if you like, the moment you start fettling with it again and changing,
hang on, we've got to go back and you've got to translate Northern. What the fuck is fettle?
Just fuck around with it, change a few little details.
I remember.
Yeah, so you go back into your PPC account. You say, like, right, okay, we're going to change this tiny few things, just tweak a tiny few things. Yeah, phone's ringing, bang, people through the door, bang. 2 weeks later, off, and you're paying the same amount, you're getting the same amount of clicks, but the engagement isn't there if you leave it alone and don't keep messing around with it.
Well, there you go. Yeah, because you're bidding, aren't you? And then you got someone else will come along and they're bidding. They're gonna.
No, I know. I'm like, you can look back at those analytics, and I know I'm the highest bidder, and this, that, and the other.
I mean, it's a nightmare. I had an SEO company today send me they just wanted my advice on their cold calling thing. They've worked out a way using AI to send a cold calling video message to well, to anyone. There's cold calling, and it just, I get about 10 of those a day. I get 10 SEO companies write to me a day, and what people in the chat won't know if you're not in e-commerce or you're not advertising online. Your basic SEO costs, basic. This is for organic listings. Because on my screen, the internet is broken. On Google, I talked about this. On Google, when you type in, I don't know, vape juice, lemon sherbet vape juice. Now, people have paid to get the top links. They might not even sell.
Hello.
Yeah. At least we're still here.
Are we though? Or we're just sitting in a private StreamYard? I don't know. Mousecat said he's getting a lot of inquiries off of LinkedIn. That's any help to you?
I don't know. Like, LinkedIn's meant to be for like getting jobs.
Yeah, he does flooring.
No, I mean like employment. Sorry.
Don't know. I just saw it pop up.
Right.
Do you think he's coming back?
At this point, who knows? I don't think so. No.
Oh.
We're on our own now, Packer.
He's now fumbling around with his phone, probably.
Would he be likely to start another or just join us again? I don't know.
If he start, he'll probably join us again. But if he starts another, someone in the chat will know about it.
Fair dues.
And then what was the super chat?
A technical dinosaur.
Evening from Tacky Havens Bar, Blackpool. Brad James. Is it nice in Blackpool at the minute?
Are you asking me? Are you asking
No,
me?
I'm asking Brad James. He's put a super chat in. He's in Blackpool in a tacky bar.
Fucking rank, mate.
I liked Blackpool, but the last time I went was 1990-ish.
Oh, mate, I was hoping it was going to be the 70s. We'd be like, yeah, it was probably brilliant back then.
No, it's tacky.
Oh, it's the worst.
I've got a photo somewhere of me and this girl. We're both wearing this great big snake.
Seeing as we're on the Dangerfield stream, like all seaside resorts, what do you get? It's a heroin scene.
All right.
Like, oh, hello. Oh, hello.
That isn't me or Cambodia because it said it came up. It's
probably my fault.
Connected to the internet, let us know. And I looked down. I've done a speed test. I've got it's something like 600 megabits per second online. So it was either the Illuminati again. Oh, have we had a little switcheroony? Did you two?
Yeah, that just happened. Yeah. It was all good till you came running back in.
Were you live? Hang on, were you two here?
I think. Yeah, we've been chatting the whole time.
Yeah, we've still been talking to each other.
Well, hang on. I really need to know this. Could the people in the chat hear Ted and Packer talking? I just need to know to work out what was going on here. Boscombe is beautiful. Castled. Oh, you could. So that's weird. Why is that me then? I might reboot my computer. Do you two want to hold the stream together for a couple of minutes?
Well, okay, Chris, but I'll just say I've just made reference to seaside towns. Packer didn't seem to get the reference. And I'm like, Blackpool, there's a underlying heroin issue.
Yeah, seaside towns tend to be
all of them. It's well, maybe there's the odd few places that aren't like that, but the big seaside towns that the Victorians were like, you know, built, and they're all horrid right now.
Yeah, and they're grim places, especially. I'm not blaming that on people using heroin, but you know, you go to Torquay in the winter, it's just like, fuck you now, man. You can almost excuse them.
No. The English seaside towns, I think you'll find their shit in the summer and the winter.
I didn't want to say.
You're equally likely to get piss sweat through or fucking blown sideways.
I think that with the drug problem, because I know people who've been there as well, you know, I'm not saying I know you personally, Chris, but I know people personally who've done that. It's they decide that they're going to go to quit in these places, and then when they get there, they realize that there's an absolutely, you know, inbuilt economy that's set up for them not to quit, because there's so many people who've tried it before.
There's a parallel to that as well. You've got rehab towns. Bournemouth is one. Bury St Edmunds is one, where there's a rehab there. People go there, they get clean. Most rehabs offer aftercare, so when you leave the rehab, you go back for like 2-hour group sessions a week. So the people tend to live in that town. Now the relapse rate is something like 70%. So you're inviting drug addicts to your town, and 70% of them are relapsing. And yeah, it's understandable, really. A lot of people don't like rehabs. I think the planning permission is getting harder and harder to set up a rehab, because also they cause trouble. You know, when they jump out of the window to score with no money, the first thing they got to do is go and rob someone, and so it does bring a lot of trouble to the town. Brad is in a Tacky Havens bar. Is Havens like a brand of bar?
I've never heard of it.
Havens is like a caravan site.
Yeah, that's what we were on to. Yeah, it's like a caravan site, I think. Like a.
Havens Holidays from the 80s. I remember the advert. Wait, thank you, Brad, for that, and the donation, of course. Wait, what was this thing? It was really big in the 80s. Da 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 da. We're messing about on the water, sailboats, canal boats, and cruisers too. And it was about boating holidays. It was like a fad for a couple of years. Come on, Ted, you're a fisherman. You must. You know, I don't remember that.
I think you've gone. You're. I hate to admit it, you're a little bit older than me. I think you've gone too far back. I was born in '83, so I would have been a kid through most of the 80s.
I don't remember it.
I'm going to find an old advert for it. UK boating holiday advert.
That's it's hoe seasons.
That's it. Hoe season says it right here. But I want the one with the song. Sailboats, canal boats, and cruisers too. Brad, they've got cruisers apparently. Hoe season.
I went on 2 boating holidays when I was a kid. My mum and dad took me on 2 boating holidays, consecutive years.
They fell for the advert.
Oh, it was grim. What a rubbish holiday.
Back up,
Chugging it through nowhere at 7 miles an hour all day long on a 14-foot boat at like 9 years old. I loved it. I had such a great time. And then we moored up at night near a pub, and they all went, right, we're off, be good.
And you were just scared in the murder boat. Let's have a look at the advert, people. Give me a 1 in the chat if you're as old as me. Sorry, if you remember this. All right, here we go.
Just going to go for a tinkle.
You can have a wee. You don't need my permission, obviously. Here we go. The hoe seasons. Hoe seasons is a bit much, isn't it? That's certainly changed. My hoe season was all year round. Here we go.
Now is the time to drop us a line for your recent boating brochure. We've got all kinds of craft that suit you just fine.
Hang on a minute. Let's go and have a look at that birds. Let's have a look at the selling point there. We'll get a bit of pausage on the go.
It weren't like that, Chris.
Drop us a line for your whole seat.
Hello, love. Yeah, come in.
We've got all kinds of craft that'll suit you just fine for messing about on the water. Cruises, canal boats with comforts galore, all Britain's waterways there to explore.
There's the Thames, or the canals of England, France and Wales, the Broads, Scotland and Ireland too. Ho Seasons offer you Britain's biggest holiday fleet, so ring now for your free Ho Seasons boating brochure.
And it was at that moment that I turned to my old man and went, Dad, can we go? And he went, no, don't be stupid.
Oh.
Hang on, what's happened now? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I put a light on and I'm going to turn it off because I look terrible. 1 second.
But it's not just that, it's that we've Packers sort of the bottom of the pyramid.
I don't know. The first boating holiday we went on was on the River Severn, and we was in a boat called Zambia, and it was the cheapest, horriblest boat they had. And we ran aground, and it leaked. Every morning we had to bail out the engine well thing.
Hang on, there's a name for that, isn't there?
Filled with water.
Yeah, what's it called? Say it again.
What? Bailing out?
No, there's a
Engine
book.
well
There's
thing.
a book called Kane's book, and he has to do it. What's that part of the boat called where you have to bilge?
Oh, right,
bilge?
yeah.
What's the bilge tank?
I think that is where, because the bilge pump shoots stuff out, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's for
Shit.
draining water that's inside the boat.
Hello, Rach Grant or Rach
It's
Grant.
not
Are
mine.
you here? Wait, Arklow. Sorry, Ted and Packer. Arklow, I've got a serious question for you, and this is serious. 42. 42 is going to come on here in a couple of weeks, probably, and tell us the history of the origins of the northern, the Ulster British Irish split. Okay, but I'm only going to do that if there's someone who is willing to come on this channel and give the other side of the story, not at the same time as 42. It's not going to be a debate. It will be a couple of weeks later. I'm not asking you, Arklow. I wouldn't expect you to do that. But if you know someone who's sort of like up on their history, they don't have to show their face. But I think it's only fair, because if I get 42 on to give his version, well, I think it'd be more interesting for the scrubs anyway to hear the different opinions on what kicked it all off. So if you know anyone, Arklow, I'm obviously not relying on you, but you were the first person I thought about asking. You might know someone. Why are you laughing, Packer? What's in the chat that I'm missing?
No, I'm laughing at you not asking Arklow.
Well, because I don't think it's his thing. I don't think it's his thing. I really don't. I think he might know someone, though.
I wish I could jump in and fill that position, but I don't know enough.
What? Where?
Any of us really,
I don't know anything about it at all. I mean, Rag's done his best to. He sent me so many videos, but I mean, I think it's fair to say it's fucking complicated, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah, mega. I think just the reason I've said that, by the way, I don't know if you remember, Chris, but my mother's from the north side of the border, my father's from the south side of the border. I used to visit Ireland growing up in the 80s and the 90s when, the Troubles were pretty, not at the worst perhaps, but, still pretty.
So your mother,
evident, let's say.
Your mother was an Ulster British, and your father.
No. Not that didn't happen very often. No, my mother was a Catholic, just living in the north. Literally very close to where the border was drawn, and my dad was a Catholic, also living in the south. Sorry, living in the south, not also. And they didn't actually meet in Ireland, weirdly enough. They met in England. So, it's one of them. My mum was over studying for university, met my dad at a dance.
Look how love has broken down political barriers.
Yeah, but they weren't on different sides of barriers. Remember, they were both.
I thought you were going to say they hated each other.
No. They were both sort of Catholics, and so the fact that my mum lived in the north was kind of irrelevant.
Okay, so
it was only up the road, and you know they were all used to crossing the border regularly, and you know my dad used to smuggle shit over the border when he was a kid on a bicycle.
What sort of stuff?
Butter,
bread?
flour, and butter.
I said
Literally the basicest of means: flour and butter.
Hoax is on the firm. Thank you, Hoax. That's much appreciated. Nice one. Ted, anything you want to talk about before I let you go so we can get someone else on? Only just so that we can get someone else on, not to get rid of you.
Not really. No, I'm good. I just wanted to say hello.
Good luck with business. I know how you feel.
Thank you.
Dark times out there, man. Dark times. And I'm although we're in very different niches, they're both sort of, to an extent, luxuries, you know.
Well, all right, I'll say one thing, okay? Because we probably know enough about the same things going on in the world, and we're both business owners. There's the short term. You can look at what's going on now, okay? And yeah, all right, we might move out of this, yeah. And then there's the sort of globalist positions that are moving in tandem along with where we're at right now. And so, you know, we know that what their plan is written within sort of Agenda 2030. And so if that's going to be the case, then it's all doomed to fail anyway, is it not? Yeah. I mean, like,
but that's my point.
You know, I'm not trying to be blackpilling.
No.
You know, it's just one of those things. Sometimes we'll sit there and we just absorb, you know, both me and my business partner absorb that same kind of information. You sit there and you just think, well, are we just battling against a never-ending tide?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of COVID was, let's knock out a load of small to medium enterprises. Let's give the corporations more money, because they could ride a couple of years of no custom, whereas the small to mediums, you know, that's fucking hard work.
I see them dropping more now than they even were then. There's destruction throughout my industry. Like, I know that there's several places, you know, even just locally, that have shut the door.
There'll be 2 shops in the future. There'll be
hopefully one of them's mine.
and the other one's mine. What a weird world. Fireplace.
Fireplace locked.
Maybe one more booze. So at least you can have a brandy and forget about it all. Can we have a team in the chat for Ted, please, people? Lovely to see him again. Nice to see you, Ted. Thanks for coming on, mate.
So nice to not talk about fishing for an entire conversation with you.
You've gone. Packer, are you here?
I'm here.
I'm still here.
We're all still here.
What an appropriate ending.
Oh, right. He's done himself.
We used to say muted in the past. Do you remember, Packer? Muted. You fucking muted.
Oh, well.
What a way to sign it off.
Thanks for coming on, Chris.
Yeah. It's now the Packer and Ted show. Fuck it.
What else have you done in your life other than the fireplaces and things? What did you do?
I've been in pretty much in sales, retail sales for like, I sort of left school, went to college. It really wasn't what I was hoping that, you know, the course that I wanted to do the way it was described, you know, it wasn't turning out to be that. And so packed that in, and I was already doing a bit of Christmas work in retail, if you like, just to earn a few quid. And from that, I just said, yeah, I'm open to full-time work. And I, you know, through hook or through crook, I ended up working in the mobile phone industry for a while. And then
it's got a great reputation, hasn't it, the mobile phone industry?
Just driving me mad. Let me quickly just do another speed test.
we saved it for you. Don't worry. Everyone's still here.
I couldn't believe it.
But you.
If my speed test is low, I'll reboot. But go on.
Arclorox has sent a super chat.
I'll have a look at that if my computer can handle it. Right, go. Look. 400. Well, gone down to 390 Mbps. I think that's fast enough to run a fucking. Getting a bit angry. Ted, look after yourself, mate, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Not a problem. Sign me out. See you later, dude.
Yeah, oh, man. Ted, everyone, T in the chat for him. Lovely bloke. I tell you what, though, that's me upload. But me upload's 250 Mbps. And the reason I say that, I think it's megabits per second. I do like Ted. I like entrepreneurs. You know, because they know what it means to have that always on you. You know, that's nice to see. Some David John went for a tour. Teddies. I don't know. Nice one, people.
I've got a funny feeling if it all does go down the pan for him, he's the sort of bloke who'll just turn around and find out what people do need and sell them that.
Well, it's kind of what you have to do. I mean, look, I haven't got a problem with the way with markets changing. You can't do anything about that. You have to adapt to it. When I set my company up, all the old school, they were like, nah, you don't need to do all this. You don't, I was one of the first internet businesses, I mean this as well, to put videos of my product on the product page. And I've got proof of that. You can go to the Internet Archive. You can go back to 2006. And, they're not very good videos, but I thought, well, why not show them the product work? Well, the camera was shit. They look like they're made out of Lego. It's like proper pixelation is occurring. But I could probably show you one, actually. I'll show you one, the worst one. And it's on the little housing estate I was living on. So in the background, it's just like a wheelie bin. And it's not so great. I'll show you one. I'll dig it out. I still haven't spoken about Ricata Law, have I? Arklow, I'll get to that super chat. Nice one for that. Let me see if I can find this. There's one particular video where it's such bad quality. Well, they all are. Yeah, I've got it. I found it. I can't even log into this account anymore. 16 years ago this was. I'll show you. Look. Hang on. I'll present screen. Present screen. Made me laugh. And if you have a look, can you see? I don't know. I think it'd be too small. Can you see that there? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll get a screen grab of it.
Looks like he's holding is it a shiv?
Hang on. No, that'll be a bump hammer that I made from stealing metal rulers. So look, look. That's the video 16 years ago. Did you see many videos in shops 16 years ago? No. Pioneer. Anyway, so this thing here is called a bump hammer. But what in those days, like nowadays, you can buy them. You can just, we sell like 6 different types. Because what people were doing was using a screwdriver, holding the screw bit and bumping the key with the handle of the screwdriver. So I thought, well, it would be better if you had a tool that was made for it that had a bit of whip on it, because a screwdriver is a bit too rigid. So I'd go down to B&Q, get one of those meter sticks and sort of slide it up one arm around my shoulders and then just sort of walk out. But the pockets were full of locks as well, so I was a bit jingle jangly. Get home, cut one of those meter sticks into like 5 bits, give it a good sanding, and then I'd what's the first one? The grey coat. Can't remember what it's called. Primer, bit of primer, then a bit of undercoat, then 4 or 5 coats of the final white colour. And I've got a customer, and about 2 years ago, he wrote to me He said, I've still got your old bump hammer you sold me, like the ones you used to make. I was like, no way. He said, yeah. He said, where you hold it, though, where it's worn down, he says, I can see the numbers of the ruler that you've made it from. I was like, yeah, you know. I was selling them for like 25 quid. And all it was a wing nut and like a screw. So it was, well, anyway, you'll see. But I just check out the quality. I mean, you can already see there's 2 fucking wheelie bins. There's a load of old bracken. And, well, there we go. I'll play it. Now, I haven't watched this video for years. I apologise if I have got foul. I probably won't swear, actually, because it would have been oh, no, I'm probably trying to be all, hello, this is the technique called steering. No, I know it will be like that. But I was at the height of my skag addiction here because business was good. And I'm not buying a bag. I'm buying a fucking 9-ounce bar. So I'm probably going to go, hello, anyway, let's have a look at this. This is, but you can't even see it. It's so bad, but let's have a look. No audio. That's not me. There's no audio. There you go. Bumped. There you go. Just give it a couple of taps. While we're here,
if I just saw that and I didn't know about lock picking, I would just think that's just someone demonstrating how shit that lock is. Look, you can open this by hitting the key. You're muted.
cheers, Packer. In a way, that is what it's doing. But I get your point. But let me show you.
Show them that one about the locks you did put on the other day that I was very, very, very interested in.
I don't think that's fair. I think that's going to just make everyone go, well, I've got 99 people watching. I'm going to lose 20. I just want to show you how good my Chubb bump key was. I was very proud of this. This is going to have me going, this is our UK bump keys. What's lovely about this one is that the bump key's got Dangerfield written on it and UK bump keys. Now, people have called me out for lying because the sound's a bit out of time, but all it is the sound's out of time. But it's a beautiful demonstration of the bumping technique. It really is. And I'm not using dampeners. I hadn't invented that technique yet. Here we go. Hold tight, people. This is going to blow minds. Bumping locks. This is a Chubb lock. One of the most frequent things people say to me about bumping locks is it's all very well. Yeah, sounding kind of healthy there. Sounding healthy. Nothing wrong with that cadence. When it comes to doing it in a door, it's a different matter. Well, of course, it's a different matter. You're doing a different activity. The thing is, what a smug cunt. Well, of course, it's a different matter. You're doing a different activity. I'm not sure if that's how you sell things. Oh. If you practice a different activity as much as you practice the one in your hand, you'll get it just the same. Like anything, if you practice it, it gets easier. In anything. Chubb's notoriously hard to bump. Here's the key I'm using. It's one of ours. I'm just going to move the camera display thing out of the way so I can. For people who don't know, that key, I know people are saying, no, that ain't a Chubb lock. It is, but you think a Chubb lock is a mortise lock because they're a very popular brand of mortise lock. This is a pin cylinder lock. But any lock that key fits, which are Chubb brand locks, and there's a couple of million of them in England, that key will open. Oh, as I'll demonstrate. It's one of ours. I'm just going to move the camera display thing out of the way so I can do it. So, same principles apply. Put it in. There's a 6-pin lock. Nice clean fingers. So I know that wants to be about there. Come down here. And there you go. Wicked! On that lock. That's not the key to that.
Yeah. Oh, it's not the key for that lock.
I'll do it again.
Yeah, I want this.
Put it in. 6 pins over there.
Woo-hoo.
Do some more. There you go. 16 years ago, I was having the time of my life. Oh, where's it all gone? Hello? Don't tell me it's crashed again.
No, you're all right.
Should we see if someone else wants to come in? We lost 7 people bumping locks. It's quite weird because a lot of scrubs have been going to the live lounges on my lockpicking channel. And there's a couple of lockpicking people, such as Weatherman, who has correctly identified Mad Skills. Thank you, my friend. Even Arklow knows. Mark, he's nailed it.
The super chat, Chris. Arklow super chat.
Oh, yeah, of course. Right. Arklow says, I'd be happy to give a few thoughts on the history of the partition, Chris. And I know 42. Well, 42, we're going to do a whole stream on the origins of it. So I need someone who stands on the other side of the fence, literally and figuratively, to come on for 45 minutes to an hour to talk about the historical origins of it, which I'm going to guess will be a bit different from 42's version of events. So do you know what I mean? Coming on and giving a few thoughts isn't really going to carry it. I mean, I really need to find someone who does this sort of thing. Maybe I'll, if you know any channels, Arklow, that are dedicated to, you know, that side of the island debate, I might be able to talk to them and they'll come on. Let me know. Oi, Arklow, when you and 42 were on the same stream once, both come in for a chat, me and Packer was shitting it. we were proper mainlanders going, oh no, man. Right, let's get the old invite out. Hang on.
Because I might need someone to talk to if you disappear again.
Yeah, hang on. I want to talk about Ricata Law. He's looking, so he was LawTube. I've tried this so many times to get his story out. He got busted. His kids have been complaining at school that they're not getting washed, showered. One of them's 9 and one of them's 6 or something. The other kids said they were smelling. He was swinging with another couple. There was photos of them in their sort of jacuzzi and that. The other couple are now getting divorced. Nick Ricata's either having a blowjob or a Tommy Tank on stream. Yeah, he's so off his head. He's going, nah. And then he goes, oh, why'd you have to do that now? Oh. And then he goes, oh, the camera's on. But he looks like shit. The decline from when he was doing Amber Heard and he was all sort of animated and he was a whiskey connoisseur. When they raided him, they found nearly an ounce of cocaine, methamphetamine, and some other stuff. God, I can't remember what the other stuff was. But he's looking at 26 years in prison. He's looking at losing his kids and everything. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. They found a shooter. But you can't, in certain states, and I'd guess it's all of them, you can't be in possession of controlled substances and a gun and children. I think that's
what
probably
that's what Hunter's been done for, isn't it?
There you go. So I just want to show you, this is from Bearing's stream because he's done the good job of already editing it. But this is,
I love Bearing. I love Bearing.
Yeah,
and his missus. They're so funny.
Have you seen his missus?
No. I've not seen him.
Fuck. He looks like a grizzly bear, and he's
but he's got the gap, hasn't he?
But I wasn't.
He didn't pull her by staring at her, did he?
She is something else, man. It's all right. He knows I think that, and so does she. I'm always flirting with her, but she's fucking gorgeous. And I tell him that, and he goes, yep, she is. He showed me round his gaff once. He was just walking round, and it's like this massive place overlooking the whole of like the city. And I was going, you've landed on your feet, and he was like, well, you know. I was in like some little squat going. Anyway, he's a good lad. They're good videos. But right at the beginning of this video, they it's like they're reading out the charges, but someone shouts something out and says something like, you can fucking... Anyway, well, watch a little bit. I'm sure Baring won't mind me using his content. I've done it plenty of times before. We've streamed a few times, me. There was a great one once. Me, Devon Tracy, Baring, Sugar Tits, and that... Who was that ginger nut fat bloke who used to go mad and spit at people and hate Gavin McInnes? Copper top, copper nut, copper cab. Right, listen, this is a true story, Scrubs. Me, Devon Tracy, Baring, Sugar Tits, and Copper Cab. We're on this stream together. Copper Cab has a heart attack. Yeah, he has a heart attack. Ends up in hospital. We're all laughing, just thinking, no, he's nearly dead. Anyway, let's have a look at a bit of this, and you'll see.
He's got no soul, isn't it?
Oh, Copper Cab. Well, he's a trans now, isn't he? I'll tell you what, one of the funniest things, people, if you like Devon Tracy, if you can find the video, and by the way, Devon's channel, The Pouch, got taken off of YouTube. You can still find him on censored.tv and SUBSTACK. Thank you to my remaining 2 SUBSTACK donators. You are appreciated, trust me. 2. In my prime, I had about 100. Now I've got 2. My prime, the cheek of it. What was I talking about? Do your job, Packer.
Very.
No. Well, yeah, but oh yeah, if you can find it, Copper Cab had a boxing match, had a fight with Gavin McInnes, and Devon Tracy done the like commentator, you know, like the pundit. And it's one of the funniest things you ever seen. Devon is so funny. Because he's cracking up as he's doing it. He's like, a Copper Cab swings and he misses and his fat ass bounces off the floor and Gavin's nearly... I can't improvise how good it is. And weirdly, Devon done a video recently before his channel got hoofed off of YouTube. And it was the Sam Hyde fight in that other bloke in the YouTube influencer boxing, and that was equally funny. I can't remember who he beat up, but afterwards Sam Hyde, the commentator, says to him, because Sam Hyde plays this sort of old Irish sort of bare knuckle fighter character, the Candyman, and after the fight, and he's a fucking unit, Sam Hyde, and afterwards the commentator says, well, you certainly, you know, they stopped the fight, like technical knockout. The other bloke just didn't know where he was. And he said, so what's next for the Candyman? And Sam Hyde, Candyman, he grabs the mic and he goes, I'm coming for you, Hassan Piker. I tell you that now, I'm coming for you because you wear dresses and you're homosexual. I'm coming for you and I'm going to kill you. I'm going to fucking kill you. And the commentator goes, what, in the ring? He goes, no, in real life. It's really weird. Sam Hyde, how he gets away with it, I don't know. Such a funny bloke. Anyway, check out. This is just the judge reading out the charges against Nick Ricator. We'll probably get a bit of Baring in there as well because I'm obviously using his content. But I tell you what, he might go to prison for 26 years. And in fairness, you know, if you're going to have kids, look after them. He is a complete nutter, but occasionally you need that in a comedian, don't you? The white man is back. Is that a Sam Hyde line? I wouldn't put it past him. Arklow, thanks for your donation, by the way. Yeah, yes, Lee. He's up there with that kind of humour for sure. Yeah, here we go. Right, let's have it with the audio. Might be a little bit more interesting. You rolling a cigarette there, Packer? Okay.
Sad. Saw Nick's arraignment or bail hearing, whatever they call it, and it was grim. There'd been a charge added for child neglect or something like that, and yeah, it was just sad. Count 1 is second-degree possession, 20.
Right, so you heard that. This is from the top. Count 1.
5.
Oh, so he's reading out. I mean, look at the state of Nick Recator there. Look at it. I mean, it's just a method. I mean, I've been there. I'm not judging him, but he was very well presented, professional legal attorney. And now he's looking at 26 years. And I'll tell you what, you do not want to be going to prison if you've been. Imagine you rock up to a Nick where you've put people in there.
He's bound to bump into someone, isn't he?
Yeah, because
or someone knows someone.
Well, they're massive, and there's like 20,000 people in some of those federal Nicks out there. And if he's been doing it for what, 10, 15 years, God, you wouldn't want that. It's probably like KOS or something for attorneys. Anyway, listen to what the charge sheet is. It's disturbing. And let's face it, YouTube has claimed another one.
Just sad. Count 1 is second-degree possession, 25 grams or more of cocaine or methamphetamine.
25 grams.
This is in violation of Minnesota Statute 152.022, subdivision 2, print A.
We're going down, boys.
The maximum sentence for that count is 25 years in prison and/or a $500,000 fine.
Whoa!
Holy fucking shit! Is possession of ammunition or any firearm with the user of controlled substances. This is a gross misdemeanor, so the maximum sentence is 364 days in the Candiwai County Jail and/or a $3,000 fine. Count 3, endangerment of a child.
There you go.
When presence with a sale or possession of a controlled substance. Again, a gross misdemeanor. Maximum.
You all your coke out, Nick, and kill yourself, you stupid motherfucker.
Did you hear that? I don't know how. I think you see on the screen here, it says observer, because it's like a Zoom court hearing, which they do these days. You can just observe. But did you hear that? Someone shouts out something like, "You're going down, motherfucker." I'll play it again because I should have warned you.
I think he invited him to end himself.
Something like that. Glass, did you see the description of this video? But yeah, also when I said I'm nicking the content off of Bearing has nicked the content off of what's his name? The big fella used to do gaming, got banned from World of Witchcraft. Nice enough bloke, because I just heard him talking there. Yeah, you can see it all over him, can't you, Spanish Chicken? Hello, 42. Nice to see you, mate. Anyway, so listen out for the bloke shouting, and then you'll hear the judge go. He says, if anyone shouts out again, and he threatens them with something, but Lord knows what they're going to do. No problem, Glass.
Yeah, is it quartering you're talking about?
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So Bearings borrowed the quarterings footage, and I've borrowed Bearings, so it's kind of like, yeah, nice one, JP. The quartering's on Xanax, I think. I think he's admitted it. He's not like an addict. He just says that he's on it for anxiety, but that's why he's grey and very slow. James says, no, they do a show, the three of them, Quartering, Bearing, and Dankula. Well, there you go. Thank you, James. Thank you. Appreciated. I did not know that. No, anyway, listen to the bloke shouting out. He says something to Recator. He's obviously not impressed. Understandably, guns, drugs, they don't mix, but children are innocent. You can have a gun and you can take drugs as far as I'm concerned, but that's just not fair to bring to neglect children, because neglected children get broken. and broken children hurt.
Possession of a controlled substance, again, a gross misdemeanor. Maximum.
Do all your coke out, Nick, and kill yourself, you stupid motherfucker.
Oh, no.
I'm going to warn everyone again. This is a court proceeding. If you were in a courtroom with me, I would remove you. So,
well, it's fair enough saying it's a court proceeding, but if you didn't spunk all your money on ridiculous virtue signaling projects, you might actually be able to have it in a fucking court and not on a Zoom call. It doesn't really have the sort of luster and sort of gravitas of a courtroom, does it?
There's no atmosphere, is there?
Yeah. When I walked into court, I'm shitting myself. All that wood paneling, all those old coats of arms and that. Look, Ricator's just sitting at home in his bathroom.
He could still be getting.
He's being
sorted out under the table. Yeah, he could still be getting chomped off down there, couldn't he? At this moment, while I was talking to the judge.
That is funny though. The judge. This is a court. Yeah, it looks like a court. Kangaroo court. Nonetheless, Ricator's in trouble. We'll watch a bit more.
Oh my
any
God.
violation of that will be removed. Ms. Black.
Anyway, the internet moves really quickly, and in the weeks since then, a lot has happened. There's been internet lawyers crying about this shit. There's been huge infighting.
Well, we don't need to see that. Basically, what he says is there's loads of people who are pro-Ricator and there's loads of people who are anti-Ricator. I mean, look at him. Look, I've looked like that. There's pictures of me on the internet looking a lot worse than that. I'm not judging him at all for that. It's the kids bit. But him and Sugar Tits, watch some more of it. Andy Worsley got the shit kicked out of him at the same influence of boxing as that Sam Hyde one. Oh, what's all this nonsense? I want to see more of Nick Ricator. Oh, it's all dubbed out. That's fucking boring.
Oh.
No, we don't need that. All right, let's drop that.
I'd rather have the.
But people, if you're interested, I'll tell you what, it's a rabbit hole worth going down. If you've got a couple of hours and you just want to have a, you know, this is internet gold, really, isn't it? When someone goes from that high to that low, it's like, what the fuck is going on? You know, even if he doesn't get, all those charges add up to about 33 years. I mean, let's say he gets 10 years. He's in the space of a couple of years, he's gone from earning thousands of dollars a night, like internet celebrity, to just nicked, just in a federal prison as an attorney. And he must have gone through all his, you know,
He's gone full George Best, Chris, is what he's done there. He's gone, it's just mental with it.
Yeah, he really has. Right, what are we doing? We are going to do, I've done Hoax, done Artglow, 42, drop to 10-bit. Chris, our next stream is Ripe. Oh, you sure? I don't know if I can cope with that. I have a bunch of new perspectives gained from looking at the history of these islands over the last 2 years. What? Over the last 2 years? Hang on. Oh, you mean you've been looking at them over the last 2 years? I was thinking it's been going on a bit longer than that. Yeah, there you go. You confirmed it. 2 years of research, not 2 years of history. Yeah, I've got your email, mate. I've just had this silly concussion this week, and I don't know how long you've been in this stream, but it's been a bit up and down. I mean, it's 3:30 in the morning now, which doesn't help. But yeah, I'll answer that. I think it'll be John Palmer's stream next week. So let's pencil you in for the week after next. So it's Friday now. So the week coming, I'll see if John's available. If John's not available, we'll do it. And if John is available, we'll do the following week. I'll put all this in an email though, 42. Nice one on the donation and nice one on the research. But I have got to get someone from the other perspective, 42. I'm sure you can understand that. In the interests of me being thoroughly ignorant about it, not wanting to look like I'm picking sides just because you're my mate, for instance. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. So I would like to hear both sides of the same coin of a misspent history. Right, what are we doing, Packer?
Getting someone on.
Packer, how did you go from a bloke I couldn't see at the start of the stream to now looking almost like a professional YouTuber with a backdrop and some fairy lights and some headphones? It's like, you didn't even see it.
I've always had headphones. It's just got darker outside, so the light in here is better. It's starting to dim outside.
What's that song? It's dark outside.
I mean, professional backdrop is a blind, but is actually on a window. And my fairy lights is string.
I want to thank Skin and Tonic for donating to my Buy Me a Coffee on Substack, by the way. Yeah, that's something I've done. Right, let's put that invite in the chat. Should we do that? Right, hang on. Before we do that, I've got to show you something. It ain't long. It's not that long. Steady, Emma. Drop. Check this out. This is a true story. You won't have to watch much of it. You'll only need...
Oh, has he done me again?
Oh, you know, look, Packer, is that... It's not me deliberately. I will get I promise you, I'll get an email from StreamYard saying, "Oh, our system shows that your stream was interrupted multiple times. We'd like to apologise, and we're doing everything we can to stop this happening in future." And it's like, well, yeah. Oh, well, cheers. Thanks. Maybe you could refund the 20 quid a month I have to give you for your terrible service. Right. I've watched this whole video, so it's not a lie. It's a true thing. But it doesn't take long for him to get to the kicker, and you're just going to go, oh, it's beautiful. Check this out. Here we go. And then we'll open up, we'll get another guest on. But this is mind-blowing. 42 is going to say mind blown. No, that was Arklow, wasn't it? Oh, God, they're the other side of the fence. Here we go.
In 2015, Dr. Sergio Canavero, a man who in no way looks like a mad scientist who wants to attempt a human head transplant, announced that he was totally going to attempt a human head transplant. And everyone around him was like,
I can see him. I told you.
Exactly. Head. And believe it or not, he had a volunteer.
Now, in fairness, go on, Packer.
Well, you know, if it's it's up to him, isn't it?
But the first thing I thought, but I will confess, the bloke who makes this video, I mean, it's 25 minutes. We won't watch all of it. We won't watch anywhere near all of it. He says it as well. You've got to ask, think of this, Packer and Scrubs. It's a head transplant, right? Oi, Scrubs. Yeah, there you go, 42. I thought you'd... That makes sense, doesn't it? Scrubs, what do you think? Hello, Wolfie.
Scat thinks you'd want a better head.
Well, if you're having a head transplant, isn't someone else having a body transplant?
Well, no, not if it's a body that someone else don't need anymore.
Who would that be?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Cadaver, isn't it?
Do you want me to tell you how to say I don't know in Khmer?
Go on.
Right, I'll type it so that I'll type it phonetically. There you are, everyone. I've just put it in the chat. Hello, Cooper246. There you go.
Atangday.
That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. But if you want that means I don't know. But if it actually translates as no No as in negatory, negative. No as in know something, KNOW. So it means no, no, no. That's what it actually means. Seriously. Because you put up that up. If someone says to me, "You coming out?" and I'm not, I say "upday," and it means nah, nah. So and dang means to know a concept, not a person. If it's a person, it's squal. Knyom squal paka. I know paka. But if you knew if you you know, what's the time? Atang day. No, no, no. But if you want to say it as in weatherman, 999. But if you Spanish chicken says he ain't getting better clothes. The old button down, mid top button, no ties, a desperate look.
I'm wondering how he did that button up.
It's an odd story. But hang on, if you want to say I don't know, but imply why the fuck are you asking me, it's atang pong. Right? Now my missus would I'd ask my missus something and she'd say atang pong. And I said to my Khmer teacher, I said, you know atang day? He went, yeah. I said, sometimes my girlfriend will say atang pong. And when I ask her what it means, she says it means I don't know. And he says, yeah, he went, they don't know what pong means. They will differentiate between atang day and atang pong. But when you ask them, he said in 25 years of teaching and living in Cambodia, he's never known a Cambodian to tell them what atang pong means. But it's if you get that wrong, it's really bad. If a tuk-tuk driver asks you if you want to turn left or right, if you say atang day, he'll pull over and he'll let you get your Google Maps out. But if he asks if you want to turn left or right, he'll go bat shui or what's the other one? Bat shui or bat stam? No, I'll say bat shui nang bat stam ra bong. And if you say atang pong, he'll get the right hump with you because you've said, I don't fucking know. Why are you asking me? But you're the tuk-tuk. You should know. Anyway, let's have a look at the two-headed, one head, no baby, head baby, no body, bad, no neck, bad eye.
The guy's name was Valery Spiridonov. He was a Russian programmer with muscle wasting disease called spinal muscular atrophy, which left him paralyzed and immobile. So yeah, when he heard that somebody was going to attempt a human head transplant, he was like, you know what? Pop this head on something better. Many of you probably already know this story. Hell, I may have already talked about it in a video before. I can't keep up with my video.
Right, we don't need to watch any more of that, but this doctor actually done it. But there's a really weird story behind it. Where now, if it's not, it's kind of unpleasant because the first bloke to do a head transplant, they were trying it out on dogs, right? And in this video, he says they managed to graft a head onto another head onto a dog that already had a head, and so there was a two-headed dog. And he says, and the scientist bloke who he interviews says, and it survived for surprisingly long. He said, I can't remember exactly. And I was thinking, wow. And then he goes, it was something like 2 weeks. Oh yeah, that's a lengthy time. I think that's coming up now.
That'll be the last, as Rohan points out.
So the people you're referring to is Vladimir Demikov in the Soviet Union, who was another brilliant pioneering surgeon, but did these he made these two-headed dogs, some of which lived for a fair amount of time, sort of maybe, I don't want to get it wrong, but maybe a couple of weeks or something like that, and was the inspiration for the MTV.
It's a fair amount of time, isn't it? 2 weeks.
Logo, by the way.
The transplanted head survived?
Say it again, Packer.
Do they mean the transplanted head survived?
Yeah, and the dog. There was a dog with 2 heads walking around.
Yeah. Both heads were sentient.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
A legitimate two-headed dog.
Trivia there. And then Robert White.
What colour
in
camouflage
the
trousers would you wear
1970s.
when you walk in that?
Hey?
What tone of camouflage trousers would you wear when you walk in that?
That is so off the scale, man. I have got a fucking Danny what you're talking about.
A two-headed dog, that's going to be pretty cool on the estate, isn't it?
Not after about a week when the back legs are just dragging along, you know, and there's like body fluids, like a trail of it just dragging along. It might be. Look at John Palmer straight away. He had a head transplant, but no. The bloke didn't have a dog's head. They had a. Oh, for God's sake. Oi, Lee, I saw that. Right, so there was a documentary. Oh, let's see if we can find it. I saw that documentary about a bloke who had his hand. He lost his hand at war or something like that, and the doctors said, "We've got this revolutionary surgery where we'll get a dead person's hand, like." Cut it off his dead body, like pull it open like a sock, stick your stump into it, chop the end of your stump off, wire it all up, and when you concentrate hard enough, and once you learn, it will start working, right? I've seen this documentary. This is probably the one Lee's talking about. Right, so this geezer has this operation. I'll see if I can find it. I mean, this was about 20 years ago. I watched that documentary. I'm sure it's come on a bit further. It was fucking grotesque, though.
Now, John Palmer's gone there. He's gone straight there. Where do you think he's gone, Chris?
I'd have some hot bird's hand grafted onto my hand, something like that. No. I don't know. Thankfully,
imagine with a dead man's hand.
There you go.
What if it did feel like someone else was doing it?
Well, there you go. But this is what I can't find it, but this is what happened, right? When he come out of surgery, it was longer than his other arm. So when he had his hands by his sides, it was about that much longer because obviously they were, you know, it was like a 20-hour surgery getting it all, you know, you've got to get nerves, arteries, veins, everything, ligaments. But over the next couple of weeks, the fingernails started going yellow. Then the hand has gone yellow with purple bits in it. All the veins started coming up. But they said to him, you know, he could get it moving. And they interviewed him, and he still had it like a year later. And they interviewed him, and he said, my children don't let me touch them with it. They don't like it. And when we eat round the table, I have to put it under they can't. And it was really weird. They said, why don't they like you touching them with it? And it's like, what, are you fucking stupid? What, a dead man's hand? Night, darling. And it looked grotesque. It really looked, it was all sort of like, it was like, you know, swelling up, and like the fingers were going rotten from the ends because they weren't getting enough blood. In the end, this revolutionary hand transplant. Now look, I am making fun of it, but in 50 years, which this was about 25 years ago, when they can get you a hand transplant, which you wouldn't know the difference. You know, you're standing on the shoulders of the giants who took the risks when they didn't really know what they were doing. And you'll be fucking grateful for that. Imagine you had a car crash and you lost both your hands. And there was someone else who had a donor card. They died, and they said, you can use every part of me. And you were a match, you know, like you were a 25-year-old male and they were a 25-year-old male, and they'd done a perfect job, little bit of scarring, and you had hands. So as much as I take the piss, and it was, you know, I was about 12 when I watched the documentary, and me and my brother were crying with laughter. He walked through the street and he was saying, Some people noticed. Everyone in the street was going, "Oh, why has he got a purple swollen hand about a foot longer than his other one?"
What's that smell?
turn the essential eating down, love. My hands sweating. Fucking rank. But yeah, that's vile. Right. One more little clip I want to show you because I don't like what's his name? What's Krishna Guru Murphy or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Krishna,
Indian news bloke.
Yeah. I don't like him.
No.
And I've got 2 examples of him interviewing people. And thankfully they see through his smug, self-aggrandizing, I'm a Channel 4 interviewer, don't you know? And they don't stand for it. Robert Downey Jr., who's a bloke I respect, I think he's a great actor. I mean, not Iron Man necessarily, but he's been in some great movies. And Quentin Tarantino, who I don't have much time for, or his movies either. But the pair of them absolutely, they fuck off Krishna Guru Murphy.
He's a dirty smear merchant.
Yeah, he absolutely is. And that's what he tries to do. Both of these blokes, there's 2 different interviews. They're there to promote a movie. And with Robert Downey Jr., it's like, you still smoking crack using a pipe up your ass? You know, it's like, what? What about the film? And then with Tarrant, well, I won't ruin it, but he just wants to make, he wants it to be, he said, and yeah, they're just not having it. It's really good. Check it out. What's the time? It's 20 to 4. Keep the grift going, people. I am going to have to stop soon, though. We'll play this, and then we'll have another guest on, and I'll probably end up doing another hour. Not really. Packer keeps rubbing his eyes.
I've got hay fever or something.
Oh, you got bad eye. Hey, full circle. Anyway, here we go. Get the sound on. But I can't stand that Krishna Guru Murphy anyway, so it was lovely to see him getting ponage from these lads.
Heavily addicted to drugs and had hit rock bottom, but after a long and one of the most famous stories in Hollywood of an actor turning their life around is the story of Robert Downey Jr. At one point in his life, he was heavily addicted to drugs and had hit rock bottom, but after a long and difficult battle, he managed to bounce back, and he did it in the best way possible. Not only did he beat his addiction, but he also took his career to a whole new level, becoming Iron Man in 2008 and kickstarting what has gone on to become the most successful cinematic universe of all time. After achieving all that, you'd expect people to show him the respect he deserves and leave questions about his past at the door. But in 2015, interviewer Krishna Guru Murphy had other ideas.
I mean, look at him. Look, he would have posed for that photo and chosen that as his headshot. I mean, look at the tie. No thanks.
Cucksmunt.
He's doffing the cap. That's the straight man, but I'll take one up the back door just for human rights or whatever. Anyway, here we go.
During a promotional interview for Avengers Age of Ultron, Krishnan began probing into RDJ's personal life.
Does that mean you're not a liberal, or that you came out of prison not being a liberal?
Are we promoting a movie? To me, the thing...
Robert answered the question as diplomatically as he could, but it was obvious he was frustrated as he kept looking over at his...
Can you hear that, people? It seems quite quiet here. But he says, he's promoting a movie. When you came out of prison, does that mean you're not a liberal? And Robert Downey Jr. is just like, what the fuck?
Team. Krishnan didn't take any of the verbal or physical cues Robert was giving him, and he proceeded to ask an even more touchy question.
You've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in
what the fuck?
The dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether...
Right, I've stopped that. I'm just going to take it back. I want you to notice something. It's a classic in body language. watch Robert Downey Jr., what you can see when the human body is stressed and it's the amygdala or the amygdala, whatever you want to call it. It's your fight or flight response. And if you don't respond to it, and the response is chin Krishna Guru Murphy.
You can see on his face when he decides what he's going to do, can't you? You can see the moment when he just goes, right.
But watch, if you don't respond to the messages your amygdala's giving you, which is smack him or leave, fight or flight. If you don't, you've got to get that energy out. And it also requires more oxygen. So you've got to breathe deeper. And watch him. You can visibly see, you see a slight flaring of the nostrils. It's very slight. But you watch his chest rise and fall at quite a fast rate as well. I mean, I think if this wasn't being filmed, Murphy is now sitting on the floor going, he punched me. He punched me. But luckily, because Robert Downey Jr.'s got class and decorum, he actually does the right thing. Yeah. But look out for his chest, like rising and shrinking. I can't think of the word. Rising and falling at a very fast pace as well, relatively.
The dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether, you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still something.
I'm sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Well, I'm just asking questions. That's all.
Right.
Okay.
Bye.
Are you? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Fuck you. It was, Robert Downey Jr. He give him too many chances in my book. What are we doing here? What was he talking about his relationship with his dad for? What a cunt. And then Guru Murphy, so used to be surrounded by liberals, is just sort of like, well, I was only asking questions. Well, I'll ask you some questions on camera. Yeah, let's see how that turns out. But then he does it again. He does it with it's not the same, but it comes up next. So check it out with old I can't remember his name. The film director Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Here we go.
Thank you.
Do
you seem okay? It's just getting a little dinosaur in your.
No, look, I don't want to do that.
Can't blame him. He gave as many non-verbal warnings as possible, and the man kept pushing. RDJ handled that fall like a champ. This isn't the first time Krishnan's had a disastrous interview with a celebrity. Just 2 years earlier, he interviewed the famous director Quentin Tarantino, and what happened was even more awkward. Tarantino is known for incorporating a lot of gore in his movies, and Krishnan started questioning him on the link between movie violence and real violence.
Right, think about it. You're Quentin Tarantino. You worked in a video shop when you were 15 years old for about 10 years. You've made loads of films. You're a world famous man of the moment movie director. You've had the conversation about, do violent films encourage real violence? You stopped having that conversation in film school. It's so petty, so pathetic. But again, Christian Guru Murphy, being the Channel 4 cuck he is, he wants a story about, Tarantino says it doesn't, who cares about violence in the streets? He's trying to promote a movie. So check out Tarantino. I don't like the bloke for various reasons, but I respect him for the way he handles this. It's great. It's great, especially considering his interloculator is Christian Guru Murphy.
But why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance to your tune. I'm not a monkey.
I can't make you answer anything. I'm asking you interesting questions.
And I'm saying I refuse.
You'd think Krishnan would have learned his lesson from this interview, but clearly not. In 2014, Cara Delevingne landed her first lead role in a movie, playing Margot in Paper Towns. At this point in her career, she was known for modeling much more than she was for acting.
I didn't think this was Christian, but this is... Oh, it is. So this one, right? I mean, look at the lucky dip of the genetic lottery there. It's like Emma Glass walking down the road of love towards me. But then she became an actress, and a fucking good one as well. Listen to Guru Murphy insulting her. This is shocking, by the way. And again, I don't think we needed to ask this one, really. But, it's just a tap, isn't it? I think even Brad and Leon would tap.
It's an instant tap.
God, I would fucking tap that. Sorry, I forgot I was streaming. But listen to how much they belittle her. It's shocking. Again, it's Guru Murphy. Shocking. Ready?
So many people saw her as just a pretty face and didn't show her much respect.
Hang on a minute. Can we just go back there to the Minge Zoom shot, as I like to call it? You know, there's a lot of woman there, but why don't we just zoom in on her fanny? It's like so blatant. Check it out. I've got nothing wrong with it, but it would seem a little bit Baz. Oh, don't say that, Emma. Imagine.
She's whatever she wants.
She can do whatever she wants. Yeah, I'd dress. Yeah. I'd be a transvestite for her. Yeah. We can have our own little lesbian. Glass, would you lesbian it up with her? Drop. Would you sink with her? Right, here we go. All right, don't ruin it. God, I've had sex with lesbians though. They didn't seem to enjoy it. I did though. Weirdly, it was even better than non-lesbian girls.
Well, they like some of it.
Well, they didn't in the morning. Let's put it like that.
No.
Here we go. Check out how they belittle this very successful woman who was a supermodel and then an A-list actress. It's shocking. Guru Murphy again.
For acting. So many people saw her as just a pretty face and didn't show her much respect. There was one occasion where she made an appearance on Good Day Sacramento to promote Paper Towns that she was given a really hard time. The host spent the entire interview talking down to her, with one even calling her by the wrong name.
Carla Delevingne is in the movie. She joins us live from New York City to
Right, hang on. It isn't Christian Guru Murphy, but nonetheless, this is shocking.
talk about Paper Towns. Cara, good morning.
Hey.
Hi, how you doing? We're doing all right. Nice to have you here. So the movie is based on a best-selling book by John Green. You play Margot, the star character there. Did you get a chance? The book is taught, I know, in a lot of high schools and such. Did you get a chance to read it, or do you even have time to sit and read? These days you're so busy.
No, I never read the book.
Did you see her face? She plays the lead role in the movie. Did you get a chance to read that? It's so insulting. Oi, you divvy supermodel. Did you bother reading the book? And,
I like to know.
Yeah, but not only does she say no, she doubles down. She says, no, I didn't even bother reading the script. But those fucking anchors with a silent W, they don't even realise that she's just given them a slap, and they just carry on like nothing's happened. She's quite good, man. Nah, didn't even read the script. But look at her face when she asks that fucking question. You know, it's like, you're not an actress. That's ridiculous. You're just a pair of legs, aren't you? Hang on, apologies.
You play Margot, the star character there. Did you get a chance? The book is taught, I know, in a lot of high schools and such. Did you get a chance to read it, or do you even have time to sit and read? These days you're so busy.
No, I never read the book or the script, actually. I kind of winged it.
Yeah.
No, of course, I love the book.
Nice
I think
try.
the book's amazing.
The interview was already off to a really bad start, but it got even worse when the third host started asking questions.
I saw you in London talking a couple weeks ago on TV, and you seemed a lot more excited about it than you do right now. Are you just exhausted?
Fucking hell.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm still very excited. You know, the premiere was last night. It was an emotional night. It felt like.
What do they
But him as just a funny fat guy.
What do they expect her to do? Sorry, I fucked it. What do they expect her to be doing? Jumping up and down and like doing a can?
Yeah.
You know, it's just ridiculous. Daytime telly is such a cultural cesspit. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I want you to see them slag her off like after the interview as well. They just can't stop because they know they've been called out. She's got more brains than the three of them put together.
Right now. Are you just exhausted?
Oh, no. I mean, I'm still very excited. You know, the premiere was last night. It was an emotional night. It felt like the end of an era, but I'm not any less excited than I was a couple of weeks ago. Maybe I had a bit more energy. It's the morning.
You do seem a bit irritated. Perhaps it's just us.
Irritated.
Yeah. No, I think it's just you.
I think well, then on that note,
We figured as much.
We'll let you go then. How about that? We'll let you go take a little nap, maybe get a Red Bull. How about
Did you hear that? We'll let you go. Have a little nap, you little child. Have a Red Bull. But wait till she's off. Oh, they carry on. Go and have a nap. It's just what? I mean, the superficial understanding of making a movie, being an actress. Why aren't you excited? Well, it's a serious emotional. What the fuck are you people about? I despise you and everything you stand for. But listen to their little afterburn. That's for me. It's the worst bit.
that?
Cara Delevingne, thank you so much.
She was in a mood.
You make $5 million for 6 weeks worth of work. You can pretend to talk to Good Day Sacramento with some oomph.
Calls her the wrong name, insinuates she's not intelligent enough to read a book, straight up tells her she looks exhausted, asks her why she's so irritated, tells her sarcastically to go take a nap and drink a Red Bull, and continues to trash talk her when she's offline. So unprofessional. And of
Exactly. Fucking ridiculous. I'll tell you what,
there's a saying that goes, never in the history of being told to calm the fuck down has anybody ever just calmed the fuck down, have they?
There you go, yeah. It's like telling a drunk person to calm down, isn't it? Yeah. The thing is, I've never wanted to be famous. I've had famous friends, and it ruined your life. The sacrifices you make are ridiculous and not worth it. But I would like to be famous sometimes, because if I was in that situation, I'd let them have it. I'd absolutely let them have it. And I'd love to. I'd love to have that, be in that position to not be like a performing monkey that they expect, and just say, you're thick as fuck, aren't you? What the fuck? Did I read it? But she handles it quite well, though, when she says, no, I didn't read the script either. I just sort of winged it. Ridiculous. Right, let's get one last guest on. Who's going to be she was a beautiful woman, though, wasn't she? Good Lord.
Well, I'm pretty sure she still is.
Sorry, I meant was as in then. Well, how long ago do you reckon that was, Packer?
I don't know. She's always looked like that.
Forever. Is she the forever lady?
Don't know. Might be.
John wants Jess. 42 wants Jess with one S. She was great. Jess, hang on. There's been some kind of behind the scenes conniving going on here. It's Jess, everybody. Behind the scenes. Now, I don't know if everyone knows. Where Jessica, I'm just relaxing.
Oh, hang on. Sorry, one sec.
Yeah,
I couldn't see that I was on the screen.
Right.
So.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's all right. Yeah, that's all right.
Just relaxing.
When I asked everyone to send in pictures of sexy legs for Alan, Jess sent in a picture of sexy legs for Alan. They were hers. She got it wrong. She actually got the idea wrong. It was a nice pair of Jess's legs. So I've got that in my special folder, Jess, and I've tried to superimpose a top on it, but I was a bit drunk and I could only find a dolphin, so it's a bit weird. But it does the trick.
What top would you put on it? Whose face would you put on my legs?
Yours.
What, my face on my legs?
Marzipan, it's only the one guest, I'm afraid, because it gets out of hand. Sorry, Jessica. It would be you, of course.
Oh, yeah, they go well together.
Yeah. Well, how old are you roughly? You don't have to say exactly.
I'm 23.
What's it like being 23 now?
It's all right. It's okay. I don't know any different. So,
All right. Let me.
I'll tell you, it's pretty fucking good right now. Make the most of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
But there's like challenges and things, obviously, that come with the year. Obviously, as in like, as time's gone on, everything's a bit shit in the UK.
It carries on getting worse like that. You'll find.
Yeah, like for my generation, sort of thing.
Yeah, that was bliss, man. It was so good. The 80s, the 70s, 80s, and 90s, I think, was the cream of England.
I do look at like videos of the 90s and stuff, and I see and I think, oh, I kind of remember what that was like in the early 2000s, because there was sort of a bit of that left over, but it's gone. It's gone.
What do you go to, like festivals or raves or gigs or anything like that?
I do like gigs, but not raves or festivals or anything.
What, because you don't want to, or there's not a lot on, or it's not your thing?
Not my thing at all. Gigs are, I like going to gigs, but just no festivals or raves.
Do you go and see like well-known established bands or local bands, or either or? Just
my favourite ones, I have a lot of bands that I like from the 80s, and the ones that are still going, I like to go see them.
You like Ultravox, and you like Ultravox without Midge as well, don't you?
Yeah, well, I like Midge. I think I saw Midge. When did I see Midge? Last year? Just before Christmas, I think.
I'm sorry, but I know Packer's laughing because it sounds like you're saying I saw Minge, and we're old men. And that's funny.
Have I got a crappy microphone?
We've all seen it.
Midge.
Is there a bit of irony with liking bands like Ultravox? Do you listen to it ironically because it's sort of synth pop from a world you weren't part of? Because to me, it's just a little bit embarrassing. I don't mean that, but that doesn't mean you can't. That doesn't mean I judge you negatively for liking it. I'm just trying to get a.
I do genuinely like it, but not. It's not just Ultravox. It's, I listen to loads of different things. But
some of it's really good, Chris.
No, it's awful.
80s nonsense is really good.
Go on then. There's a couple of hits. There's Vienna. Yeah, great. But even that goes dum 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 at the end, which no one wants. Jess, I know that favourites are a weird thing, but if you had to name a favourite album now, I know it might change. What would it be?
Of specifically Ultravox?
Sorry, no. Any. What is your favourite album of the moment?
Oh God. I really like Violator by Depeche Mode, which is like their most famous one, pretty much. I don't know. I listen to so many that it's really hard to choose. You're muted.
Muted. What's on Violator? What ones would we know?
Enjoy the Silence, Personal Jesus.
There you go. Brilliant. See?
Yeah.
Good synth.
But it's a bit annoying for that to be my favorite, because it's so like obvious sort of thing.
Yeah, it is my favorite, and I'll tell you why. When my daughter was born in the early 90s, after she was born, I was kicked out of the hospital, and I went and sat in my van and had a fag and turned the radio on, and Enjoy the Silence came on. That's what I heard just after she'd been born. I just held her.
Yeah.
That's why that's my favorite.
Nice.
But yeah, it's because it's really good tune.
I like all of Depeche Mode. I'm quite a big fan of them. I like their early stuff as well. But yeah, it's a bit embarrassing when I start telling people about my music taste, because they have the same reaction. They're like, "Oh, it's cringy or whatever." But I don't know what's more cringe: enjoying a lot of stuff from the 80s and not being born, like, you know, and not enjoying it when it was coming out, or being into things like, I don't know, Taylor Swift and rap shit that comes out today. I don't know what's more cringe. So,
Well, I don't know. That's all that music in the early 80s. That's when I was at secondary school. That's when, you know, your life kind of starts really happening to you, doesn't it? And
yeah,
so the music's the backdrop to that part of my life.
yeah,
But I
makes
quite
sense.
like it. I like a bit
Yeah.
of blancmange.
Oh, I like it. Well, I met Neil Arthur one time. He signed one of my albums.
Japan.
I like Japan. They're okay. I don't listen to them too much, but yeah, all that kind
We've
of
done
stuff.
Depeche Mode, darling. Someone's not paying attention.
But yeah, I like all that kind of thing. But like I said, it's people do tend to sort of cringe at me for it, but I like it, so you know.
Oh, you like it. I don't know what he was going to ask you next.
No, I don't. Something about my favourite album, but he needs to catch up on it, I
So
suppose. Oh, there he is.
So frustrating. I'm sorry, people. That ain't me. It's them. I know it is because it. Well, anyway. So, Jess, when you were growing up, did your parents listen to that sort of music?
Yeah, it's my dad. It all comes from my dad. Yeah.
Okay, so there is some nostalgia there, not necessarily ironic either. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like Tangerine Dream?
No, I've never listened to him.
Okay. Do you know the film Risky Business?
Not heard of it, no.
What's his name, Packer? What's the Mission Impossible bloke's name, Jess?
Tom Cruise.
Right, Tom Cruise. I think it was his first big movie, and I know Tom Cruise is an arsehole on a Scientology.
When he was about 12 years old and looks exactly like he does now.
Yeah, but the story is his mate's mum and dad go away for the weekend, and he meets his They think, what can we do? And he decides to get some brass round, but falls in love with her, and she starts throwing parties and earning loads of money, and it's a put a 1 in the chat if you reckon Risky Business is a good movie. There you go, Jared. That's the one. I've not watched a lot of movies that have had sex scenes that have been in any way arousing. Hollywood sex scenes are usually sort of like, you know, sort of cinematic shadows, and it's all sort of like a white sheet sort of gently falling off a shoulder. But in a Risky Business, there's a scene where him and her have sex on the train. And the reason Jared has said that is because there's I forgot the name of the band I just mentioned. What were they called?
What, the one you kept
Tangerine
asking
Dream?
about?
Yeah.
Oh, Tangerine
Dream. Do this. The song is called "Sex on a Train," and it was used in the movie. I don't know if they made it for the movie or what. But it's a great scene. I might. What's the time? I might watch that tonight, but that'll mean going to bed at 7 o'clock. I don't think I'll be doing that. So it is. It's you grew up around that music, and
Yeah.
Packer, did you have any inspiration from your parents' music?
Inspiration? My dad liked jazz and Shirley Bassey, which I quite like.
What? When
And
was
my
the
mum-
last time you thought, I'll listen to some jazz?
A long time ago. If I, I'm quite happy with it. If I hear
So
it.
the answer's no, really, isn't it?
What do you mean no?
You weren't really inspired musically.
Oh, yeah, I've got loads of jazz. I've got a shit ton of Django Reinhardt. I used to go to jazz festivals with my dad and my brother.
No way. What? And you enjoyed them, did you?
Yeah.
How old were you?
40 something.
I thought you were going to say 12. Let's get back to jazz. More interesting.
Better than the boating holidays, yeah.
Seasons. There's nothing wrong with that. So, Jess, how old were you when you were being brainwashed with synth pop?
From as young as I can remember, really. My dad's like super, super into music, got like thousands of records, massive setup sort of thing. So
Are your parents together?
No.
Right. You said no.
You ain't met.
Come on, it's current year. You know what it's like. What's your relationship with your father like?
It's okay. It's probably not as good as it could be, but yes, it's all right. We talk and we go out places every now and then, and, you know.
When you say it's not as good as it could be, what makes you say that?
Well, I don't ever talk to him about anything like beyond really superficial stuff, like how's your day going, sort of thing.
Do you I think expect is the wrong word, but would you like him to inquire about more profound things than superficial things like how are you? Would you like him to say, how's your life going? You know, are you struggling with anything? Or
well, if something comes up and I'm struggling with something, he will be there, but he's more practical, whereas I go to my mum for all the emotional stuff. And it seems to work because I go to mum for everything emotional, all of that sort of thing, whereas dad is like someone that I can geek out with. We go to places together and talk about geeky stuff. So it seems to work okay, I guess.
But it's interesting, the first thing you said was it could be better. So what would make it better?
I don't really know, because I don't really know. I guess just when you see other people talking to their dads, they're a bit more, I don't know, they're a bit more like emotionally close, I guess. Whereas we're just like not emotionally close.
Yeah. But you are with your mum. If you don't mind me asking, when did how do I phrase this? Was one of them considered the one who left?
Oh yeah, dad. Yeah, dad left.
Okay. And did you stay with your mum?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And all the way through, you didn't. There wasn't a time.
I've lived with my dad for like, I think it was like a year and a half or 2 years, but I was like 17 then when I lived with my dad. And
was that because what? Why did you do that?
I wasn't getting on properly with my family, like with my mum's family. When I was staying at my mum's house, and there was lots of arguments and stuff, so I just left basically.
So who else? What is there, like other siblings
No, it was my stepdad. I just could not bear him.
I didn't think of that. I completely didn't think of that. All right. So did you say to your dad, look, it's not good here. Can I come and stay with you?
Yeah.
And that must have been quite strange for your father, I imagine. What was he, 40? Something like that? 35, 40?
So how long ago was 17? So that was like 6 years ago, and he was like 54, 55.
I didn't want to say that because I didn't want. It's weird, isn't it? People's parents and how old they are.
No, I think he was about. He's 60 next year, so he was like 54. Yeah.
Okay, so did he live alone?
Yeah, so it was literally just me and him, which was.
So when you said to him, "Can I come and stay with you indefinitely," or did you say maybe just for a few weeks, or what?
It was more just like I need to just move in and get away now.
And did he say yes immediately?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course he did. Yeah. He would never like shut me out, like that at all. He was absolutely fine with me going to live with him.
Well, you say that, and I'm not saying that he wouldn't be, but without a doubt, when that phone goes down, he thinks, okay, so massive changes now.
Yeah.
without a doubt, a mid-50s
Yeah.
bloke who's been living on his own for what, 10, 15 years or something.
Yeah, like 10 years, yeah.
He's now going to have his daughter move in, and he's not going to be able to get up bollock naked and drink milk out of the bottle and not flush the chain and do the things that men do when the women ain't around.
He is. You asked my daughter.
That's getting clipped.
To be fair, we had quite a good arrangement because his house is like 3 stories. So he had his bedroom on the like 2nd floor up. I mean, we shared the kitchen and stuff, but I had my own bathroom and bedroom at the top of the house.
You had your own house?
No, I had my own floor of the house.
Oh,
but
trust me, that's a house.
Well, yeah.
A bedroom and a bathroom and a.
Well, no, it was a toilet. It was a
You were
toilet.
17, would you?
I was. Yeah, I think I let. Yeah, because I moved out when I was
That's
18.
the best thing you can do, Chris, with a 17-year-old girl is give her her own bathroom, because otherwise she will take yours.
We had to use the same
And then
shower.
you haven't got one.
But yeah.
No, I had a girlfriend who had OCD, and she wouldn't leave the house without doing her hair and her makeup, and that was a 4-hour job. And
4 hours.
Fuck me, yeah. And I'm not, it's not a judgment on her character. She wasn't like, oh no, I need to look perfect. It was an obsession, you know. She ended up hospitalized over it countless times, and that was just another way it showed itself. It wasn't that she wanted to look perfect before she went out. It was probably that she didn't want to go out. She had a terrible childhood, like horrible stuff. So it was probably more something, you know, it's a bit pop psychology, but I was with her for 11 years, so I kind of know her. It was probably more delaying going out into the world and having to engage with people. So you moved in, and so was it a new area as well?
No, same town. Literally a 10-minute drive from my mum's house. So that at least there's that.
And did you? What? How was your mother when you said? What was it obvious that you weren't happy there?
Oh God, yeah, fair.
How long for? How long were you not happy there?
Well, it's a bit of a strange situation because I never got the choice to move in the first place, sort of thing.
So when they split up, it was decided for you to
everything was I had no choice in anything.
Okay.
And it just it got worse when I was a teenager and just kind of grown and grown and grown. And I reached a point where I was just like, oh, screw this, I'm leaving. I'm going somewhere. I don't care where but I'm leaving. So,
Jess, as you like become a woman, which you obviously are in your early 20s, are you starting? No, that's putting words into your mouth. Like a lot of people I know, including myself, like my dad died at 16, and it was only in my mid-20s that I started to realize, and I mean really, when I say started, it was like I had a little look in that can of worms. It wasn't like, oh, I get it now.
Yeah.
But did you start to realize that the impact things like a parental breakup have on a child? Is that?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Whereas when you were younger, you just think, oh, this is a bit shit. You know, you just take it because you don't know any different.
Yeah. Well, you just don't get any choice. So it was just like, you're moving in here now. There you go. Get on with it. Everyone's happy, right? And it's like, yeah, no, not everyone is happy actually. But there's nothing you can do. You can't say, I don't want to be here, because when you're like 7, you can't. You can't just be like, Mum, I don't really want to do this. Can we just not? You know.
That must have been quite
traumatized children. Look.
I wasn't talking of traumatized children, actually. That must have been quite kind of claustrophobic for you in a way. Just everything's changed, you know, massive. It's a massive thing for a child, especially at that age, to have not only their parents break up, but to suddenly be in a situation where you feel you can't talk about it, where you feel you're not being consulted, and it's just, no, you put up with it.
That's the thing is that I've told, you know, and I have this conversation with people you know, in real life. And I've even had the conversation with my mum because, like I said, we can talk about a lot of things together. It's quite nice. And I think like divorce and stuff and all that is very not accepted. What would you like normalized though? You know, people see it as more normal and it's kind of just a thing that happens. But I really don't think people understand the effect that it has on children.
Yeah, I
Especially when
agree
you're
with you.
suddenly moved somewhere else, or it's quite a traumatic one where there's lots of fighting, you can hear screaming and shouting and whatever, which was like, in my case, you know, there was a lot of fighting and things that I shouldn't have heard and seen sort of thing. And
Wow.
people don't like, I think people just think, wow, kids are resilient. Well, only because they don't have any other choice.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, you're right.
they just
Yeah.
get dragged along, and a lot of people don't sort of realize what that does. And I understand it's not as clear cut as that. You know, you can't.
No, I think you make a really good point then, because even if you take the shouting and the fighting out of it, just the separation that's trauma. It's trauma. You're
It is.
safe. That place where you go after school, shut the door. It's familiar as hell. You were born there. You recognize everything. It's ruptured. It's just pulled apart in like the space of a week. And even though there's all that fighting and all that stuff that goes on for years, most of the people I know who've been through that have said to me as adults, they'd rather that have carried on than the split happening. Even though that was painful to hear mum and dad rowing again, when it was like, I'm moving out, I'm going to find a new life, and then predictably 6 months, a year later, dad's got a new girlfriend or whatever, and then there's the bit where mum says, Auntie Jean's going to look after you because I'm going out to meet there's a man called John in my life, and all that stuff is fucking difficult for a young child.
See, I had a really weird situation. Well, the thing is, it wasn't like a arguing all the time sort of thing. It was one massive, big argument, reveal, etc. And within about, I think it was 5 months.
Hang on a minute, Jess. Hang on. That's sorry, that's a bit unclear.
Oh, my dad had an affair.
Which led to, hang on, so which led to the breakup, or there was the other, so in your opinion, and I'm not saying you're wrong or right, I'm just, in your opinion, he had an affair and that was the start of the end of your...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she found out, and it was one massive argument for a couple of weeks, and that was it. So.
Oh, so it was like rapido-file.
Well, yeah. So, like I was saying, honestly, I think it was within about 5 months of her finding out, Dad had left, and then the house was sold, and we were in a new house with my new stepdad. Genuinely, within about 5 or 6 months, and that was like, that's getting whiplash when you're saying,
yeah, really.
That's like, what the fuck is going on? So,
no, man.
I feel like it's, you know, there's loads of different ways that it can turn out, but maybe it would be easier to adjust to if you're like, say, 10 or whatever, and it happens in a, you know, within like 2-3 years or whatever, people gradually move on and things. But it was in about half a year, that's a hell of a lot to come to terms with when you're like 8 and don't understand exactly what's gone on.
Did you notice, it's probably a very difficult question to answer, but did you notice at the time that it changed you, or did it not change you at the time?
What, when I was like 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always quite quiet and stuff. But once we moved into the new house, I went a little bit like, I had a lot more like anxiety about things. And well, I think like about a year or 2 in, I kind of had obviously processed everything. And I just went a bit too quiet, like constantly in my room, shut myself in my room for like the whole day. I'd walk around on tiptoes so as not to make noise, all that sort of thing. And it kind of And then I started having a lot of panic attacks when I was like aged sort of 10 to 11. So
did you ever blame yourself?
Oh, what, for the breakup?
Yeah.
Not at the time. Not at the
Oh.
time, but every now and then it goes through my head if it was me, but I don't think it was. I mean, I was just
No,
being
I
a
don't
kid,
think.
so I don't.
Based on what you said, but
No.
children do tend to try and take that sort of stuff on because it allows them to make their mum and dad lovely again, and rather than human, they can sort of rationalize it. And so you didn't get on with your stepdad?
Oh, no, not well. No, it was worse when I was a teenager because I started speaking up, and it was fighting and whatever. Just a lot of just didn't get on, and it was the thing as well of like having literally just being thrown in his house at like age 8, and then you just have to deal with it. It's like I don't,
It's really hard.
Barely
That's
met him
really
before.
difficult.
Yeah, I think I met him like twice before we moved in with him. I think. From what I can remember, I can't remember too much from that time because I've blocked a lot of it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's to have what is essentially a strange adult male in your house and getting a lot of your mum's attention, obviously.
That was a big thing as well. I just said like, "Oh, it don't matter now," and she was like, "No, that's not true. It's not true." But as much as people say that and whatever, it is. I think it is true.
No, I think you're right. You're absolutely right, because women with children are largely terrified they're never going to get a partner because they don't want to take on someone else's kids, which isn't the case. But that the girl I was talking about who had a terrible childhood, the mother took on 3 stepdads who abused her, like in ways you wouldn't imagine, like horror movie stuff, because she would put up with anything rather than lose the new bloke that she'd got hold of. So
no, I'm very lucky that obviously that never happened to me, but we just didn't get along very well.
I think that's kind of normal. I think it's almost like a protest. I think it's sort of fair enough. You're not my father,
It wasn't even that. It was I was terrified to begin with as a kid because I was just like, what the hell has happened? Entire life has changed within 1 year. But it was when I was a teenager, and it wasn't so much that I didn't get on with him. I didn't like him, but a lot of the problem was my mum and him started fighting badly. And I just came home and went, fuck this, I'm not listening to you arguing.
I've done this before.
Yeah, I've done this shit before. I want to
So as a young woman, go back.
Oh dear, looks like we've got a frozen again.
And he's gone again. Are you all right talking about all this?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I think it's probably it's almost cathartic to talk about things like that. I think it needs to be like more normalized to talk about when people go through things like that, and some people might just keep it to themselves and think, oh, it doesn't matter or whatever. But if other people talk about it, it can become more normalized about how it actually affects people, because it's only become like more of a recent thing in like the last 20 to 30 years that a lot more parents are getting divorced when their kids are 5, 6, 7, whatever, and probably don't realize exactly what that's like, or something like that.
Yeah. The way I got through the first 40 years of my life was I took a lot of drugs and I bottled everything up until I was about 40, and then it kind of exploded and had a big midlife crisis.
Yeah.
And then she says, and met me.
Well. Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend my route.
No.
Wasn't fun.
But I don't think anybody has a super perfect life where that there's not a pivotal moment where something goes wrong. You know what I mean? There's always going to be like one big event in someone's life where they're like, oh shit, this is not
so
ideal.
annoying. So point where was I? So, what was I saying, Jess? Do you remember that last question? Well, I can vaguely remember. As an adult now, are you starting to process how who you are today is partly a product of all those things?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm over it now. I'm fine. I've been living by myself since I was 18 or whatever, and it's whatever.
Do you like life, Jess?
Yeah, it's all right. I don't love it all the time. I don't love it all the time, but it's all right.
You're 20. You're a beautiful young woman. What the fuck? It's all right. Oh, if I was you, I'd be going, fucking is amazing, man. You've got your 20s, your 30s, your 40s.
Yeah.
You're going to have a whale of a time. It's amazing.
No, of course I love my life. You know, it's just
No, that wasn't the question. I didn't ask if you loved your life. If you loved life.
What? Just being alive?
Yeah.
Of course I love being alive. Of course I do.
Staying alive, staying alive. What do you wish? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Ideally. You looked a bit worried there.
I don't know, to be honest.
What's going on with this self-soothing behaviour?
It's itchy because I got sunburnt on holiday. That's what it is.
On just that bit of your shoulder?
No, and that one as well.
But why aren't you stroking that one, though?
Because then I'd be doing that and it would look really weird.
Yeah, but it's still self-soothing. Yeah. It's all right. They're quite tricky questions. Lovely to talk to you, Jess. Thank you for being honest. They weren't easy questions. It's lovely to talk to you.
It was a therapy session. It was all right. I enjoyed it.
Fucking wasn't. If you want one, we can do that. But I'll tell you what, that's brutal. That really is brutal.
I think I'm all right.
Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't. I'm not qualified, but I do it. I rip my friends to pieces. Well, I say friends. After I've done that to them a couple of times, I don't hear from them again. Jay in the chat for Jessica, please,
Thank
people.
you.
Look after yourself, love. Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
Bye. Amazing. I want to quickly thank someone. He always says that, but he bought me 3 futures on Buy Me a Coffee.
And there he was, gone again. Right, we're coming to the end of the show. He's also a writer. He has a Substack. There's a book coming out one day, honestly. His Substack's free. He's never going to monetize that. What else do we normally get? Oh, you buy him a coffee. Do this thing up here as well. Substack. Is he coming back? Not sure. He might. I don't know. What do we want to play out with? If he comes back. Yeah. I don't know what to say. Well, you don't need to sit here and look at me anyway, sitting here saying that. So I'm going to call it. And if he, I mean, we'll all sit here and wait and see if he comes back. But I'm just going to get fucking so incredibly self-conscious if I'm just fucking sat here grinning at you lot. It's fucking mental. If you don't come back, there's a place called Dave's Waffle House. Don't tell anyone I told you about. Oh no, he's finished. Oh, I don't know. It's 10:30 at night. I've not had my tea yet. I'm going to go. I will see you all later. Hi.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry, Packer. That must be a nightmare for you.
I was just about to fuck off.
Yeah. Sorry, people. It must be so frustrating. Here's for me. And this is how mad it is. It comes up, try moving closer to your router. I'm on an Ethernet cable, you dozy bastards. I promise you I'll get an email from them. I'll put it in the Scrubs lifeboat. They always do it. I'm sorry, we seem to have some technical problems. Yeah, lovely to see the Jays in the chat. Thanks, Jess. That was really interesting. That was a lovely little conversation. Thank you for partaking in it. Right. I was just about to say that someone, they call themselves someone, that it's not just someone, that's their name, has given me free futures on that thing that Packer's going to point at. So I will relate. I'll leave. Yeah, I saw that out of screen. I will leave a video reply to that donation. I'll do it after this stream. Thank you very much. I actually, first of all, I'll let Packer go. Packer, thanks, man. You've been here for 3.25 hours, and I really, if you weren't here, I'm on it, John. I'm on it, John. Fair point, John. I saw it actually. JP, who's coming on as a guest for the whole show, hopefully next week. It was him who said, get Jess on. Packer is an awesome co-host. The MSM are filth. They're still acting like it's World War II. Disgusting people. Yeah, they're a cesspit of lies. They're not reporters. They're not journalists. They're activists. But they haven't even got the balls to tell you that. You know, just tell us. Guardian newspaper, left-wing activism. Just do it. The left used to do that. When I was selling living Marxism, you know, that's kind of, you know, we're not hiding, they weren't hiding anything there. This is called living Marxism I'm trying to sell to you. But the Guardian, independent, unbiased journalism. Yeah, sure. I saw an article. I put it on my X the other day. It was Father's Day, and some bloke, he wrote the article. He said to his daughter, I asked her why she didn't get me anything. I was going to ask her why she didn't get me anything for Father's Day. But then I realised, why would she want to celebrate the lesser of her two parents? I mean, what the fuck? Cheers, Guardian. More male shaming. Anyway, thank you, John. Much appreciated. Thanks to everyone who donated. Packer, I'll let you go. Get yourself what are you going to do now? Have half a mile?
Cook some dinner. I haven't had my dinner yet. It's 10:30 at night, and I've not had my dinner since I came home from work. I'm going to go and fry up some pork, throw a bit of sage in, maybe scramble some eggs.
I'm going to have boiled eggs. I've had two bao buns today. You know, those sort of steamed rice buns. They're lovely, bit of chicken in them. And now I'll have 3 boiled eggs and 1 slice of bread. I know that's the devil to you, but I can't get 3 eggs down without at least a bit of bread.
I've had two full fillets of fish today, white fish.
What, McDonald's?
Hey?
What, McDonald's?
No, white fish boiled.
Well, I'll tell you what, my missus knows that I'm just lazy. Sometimes she's been in the province because of these now multiple deaths. She's been over there for a week and a half or 2 weeks now. She's coming back tomorrow. But when she's in Phnom Penh, she'll always say to me, I'm coming over. Are you hungry? And I always just say no, because I can't be bothered to even think about it. I can't be bothered to eat or think about it. And then she turns up and she'll have a carrier bag with her and she'll get it out. And there'll be like a red snapper, like that big, cooked. And then she'll have all this salad with it and this tamarind sauce that she makes. And a chop. It's like a cucumber, but it's not a cucumber. But you wouldn't know the difference. And she gets a bit of lettuce leaf. She gets a big chunk of white fish. Like, you know, there's no those red snappers. You pull the spine out, and you could just eat the rest. Big chunk of fish, bit of cucumber. Wraps it up in the. This is what Cambodia's and Thais do this. Wraps up in the lettuce, dips it in the tamarind, and then just shoves it in my mouth. while I'm sort of working or writing, and then she'll have one, then I'll have one, she'll have one, and after that we've had like a fair amount of fish. And she knows I want protein as well. If it's not that, she'll bring round a whole chicken that's been cooked on one of those things. But I have to tell her to get it the barang version, because when the Cambodians get it, it comes with its head and neck and feet on. And when you see your girlfriend eating a duck's head or a chicken head, it's not very around. It's not very sensual, if you know what I mean. Later on,
I don't particularly like it when I have to watch the cat doing it either.
There you go.
Probably about the same level.
I've made the mistake of going up there. I think I can do that. I can buy the chicken from the market, and I just point to one of them, and he goes, all right. And then when I get home, and not only that, they stick its head up its egg hole, like to get it in the packaging. So it's like bent round, and its feet are stuck up its egg hole. It's like a fucking Escher chicken. It's like, where's the head? So yeah, she's quite good in understanding that I don't really want to see its head, which is ridiculous. Jared's dropped to 5-bit. Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Packer. Hit me at that. Oh, thanks, Chris. Thanks. Let's try again. Slow down, concussion boy. I'm going fast because I don't want it to cut out again. Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Packer. Hit me in the heart, Jess. Take care and love. It's a bit suggestive, isn't it? I don't know about that. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, take care and love. Yeah. Did you? I don't know what that means. I sort of do, but I don't know. Am I wrong here? Is that a typo or something? Or is he just saying like lots of love?
Yeah, I don't think he means. I think you're going too deep.
I'm not trying to. I just can't read.
It's just take care, and he's sending the love.
There you go. Nice one, Jared. That's very kind of you. Yeah, it was lovely talking to Jess, wasn't it? And it was touching. When people talk about childhood trauma, you always think about the real out there stuff. But a simple divorce is fucking agony for children. That will set you up for the rest of your life. Now, it won't necessarily ruin your life, but it will never go away. That pain, all pains in childhood stay with you. But the part of the maturing process, turning from a child into an adult, is responding to them differently. Like as children, we stamp our feet, we make a noise, we become like Jess said, she spent all her time in her room and all that. We have coping mechanisms. But as we become adults, you can't stay in your room all the time because you've got to work, and you don't want to end up a mad old hermit like me. So you actually mature. So yeah, it was very touching. All right, Packer, go and get yourself some fish, mate. Yeah, enjoy it.
I'm going pork. I'm going sausage meat.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're cooking some pork and sage. What else did you say you might have with it? A couple of eggs. How do you have your eggs?
Scrambled, boiled, poached, fried.
No, I do know the different variations. I meant what
all
are you
of
going to
them.
have tonight?
Right
You're
now,
have one of each. You're going to have a little bit of scrambled, a poached, a boiled.
When you're done, I'll answer you.
You did all of them, though. I just imagine you having every type. What are they? What are all the types? Scrambled, poached, boiled,
omelette, boiled. Yeah.
Omelet's just glorified scrambled, isn't it? Though that's an unstirred scrambled.
Not if you're having bacon and black pudding in it and cheese on top.
You put black pudding in omelette?
Yeah.
Blood omelette?
Yeah.
Mum, can I have scab omelette for dinner, please? Scab omelette. Look at him, people.
Scab omelette. Yeah, I'll call it that.
Because that's what it is.
I thought earlier, did you saying your lockpicking business was like first on the internet?
What's that?
Me scratching my head.
No, you weren't scratching it.
Yeah.
What, very little? Have you got the smallest itch in the world? Was it like that? Right. No, it wasn't. We weren't. No, for sure we weren't. I did put the 3 before me out of business, though. So.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah, and they fucking hated me for it.
Oh, yeah. All right.
But they got complacent. It's like what I was talking to Ken about. You know, the market's changing dramatically now. And if you don't keep up with it, and if you know, it's Darwin, isn't it? It's those who can adapt the fastest will survive. But when your competition is the likes of Amazon, how do you adapt to that? How do you adapt to that? No, you can. Like if you buy from us and you can't work it out, you're not opening any locks. You can write to us. I've got 3 professional locksmiths who will teach you how to do it. They'll write you an essay. They'll send you video links. They'll send you, they'll take you through it. You ain't getting that from Amazon. So what you have to do is don't try and compete with them. Offer something they can't. Because
that's what I need, Chris. How much is that? That sounds exactly what I need.
I'll teach you how to pick locks for nothing, Packer. You've done enough for me, mate. Jesus.
I've done anything for you. I just sit here.
Nah.
You do scholarships.
If you hadn't come on tonight, I'd have done about an hour because I'm not all here, and sometimes I need that. It's you make me feel safe. I'm serious. So go on, it's time to go. You know how I get at the end of a stream. Thank you. But if you really do want to learn to pick locks, I'll help you out. Of course I will.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm taking it. I'm taking an interest in your lock picking things for
I've
some
seen
other
you in
reason.
the comments. I've seen you.
I know.
Yeah, I make little
It's
jokes.
fascinating.
It is. Right. I can't teach you how to pick those big safe locks, though. But I can. Well, I could, but that'll take a couple of years practice. And those tools cost about 450 quid a pop. And those locks ain't cheap either. So let's start with Euro cylinders. This is our new case, by the way. I shouldn't really show this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that little logo. Look at that little bit of logo.
Nice.
Prototype in it. Go on, I'll let you go and eat your meat and eggs. No, go on. You were going to finish your egg story.
I'm going to have them scrambled. That was all. What was my egg story?
What's my egg story? The reason I don't like scrambled is I haven't got a wife here at the moment, and I can't be cleaning the pan. It takes fucking hours. Whereas if I boil it,
pan,
yeah,
a proper non-stick pan and some butter.
See you later,
and if you can get them, I'll tell you what, really good. Them funny rubbery spatulas.
What? As if you don't think I've got one of them? I've got one right here, mate. I'm a baker and I make cakes. I use that for me scrambled
one
eggs.
Of them with some butter and a proper non-stick pan.
I put butter in my scrambled eggs anyway, so it's already in there. Sometimes I have a wee in the pan. Have you ever done that? Scrambled piss eggs. Sorry, man. It's late. Look after yourself. It's 4:45 in the morning. And just as I said that, thankfully, James dropped a donation. What's up, Chris and Scrubs? Thank you, James. 4:45. Thank you, James. You've just come in. We're just finishing, which was a shame because it was a call-in. It would be nice to talk to you. We had good fun last night.
Go, Jimmy.
What did you say? Go, Jimmy?
I said, yo, Jimmy.
Bye, Packer. Ta-da, mate. P in the chat for Packer, people. He's great, man. I mean it. I mean it, people. If he wasn't here tonight, I'd have probably done about an hour, and it probably wouldn't have been good. I was thinking, I hope he's up for it. Yeah, it's been difficult. All right. Anyway, people, thank you to everyone who came on. Thank you, James, for that. I hope you're well. Thank you to everyone who donated. Thank you to someone who donated on the Substack thing. If you haven't read my new Substack, it's a little Christmas story of domestic bliss. Please get some comments on that, can you? The link to my Substack is the top link in the description. It's free. There's no paywall over there. and it's called Life's Too Long. You read it in about 10 minutes. Just leave a comment and a like. That'll mean the world to me. It's a good story as well. The people who've read it seem to like it. I mean, it's had a lot of reads, but not a lot of comments. Maybe there's not a lot to say about it. Some stories get loads of comments. Well, it's only been 2 days, so maybe I'm just expecting too much. Thanks to Rags and the boy Cray for being the moderators of this channel. Sort of, but I still like saying it. And most of all, thanks to all you lot who come here, and without you, there'd be no stream. So thank you very much. Let's have a bit of this to play out to. I'll tell you what, it's been a while. What's it called? There you go, that's what it's called. I reject all your Popsy, whatever they're called, cookies. See you later, people. Please go and give that story a read and leave a comment. It makes me feel so much validated, and I really need that. Most of the time, in fact. Here's a bit of music. I will be putting your comments on the screen as the music plays. This is from 90s indie band, The Household. It was never the, by the way. I just want to make that clear. Ta-da! Hang on. I don't think I put the sound on, did I? Could you even hear that? Let's try again. It's always good to go out strong. Yeah, I did put the sound on as well anyway. Jesus. What a palaver. Here we go. Ta-da!
I'm stupid, I'm lazy, but in the discotheque I still look crazy. Love me, baby, I only tell lies 'cause the truth escapes. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. I'm knackered, I'm fading, but in the right light I still look vaguely human. Happy it won't be long before we cave in. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. You can get the blues. Don't worry about my heroin addiction, it's on its slide. I need you, love me, and I feel the same again tonight. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. You can get the blues.
Nice one, Tucker. Sorry about that, Phil.
You can get the blues. You can get the blues.
Bill, I'll see if I can dig it out and I'll put it on the live post. On here. That really annoys me. I do ask people to use entropy. Bill, bless him, does, and it gets missed and things like it crashed. I mean, it's only showing Packers at the moment. So sorry, Bill, that's no good at all. And I appreciate that. Nice one for that, Packy. I got an extra free for that tune, an extra £3. Thank you, people. I really needed that as well tonight. It's always lovely coming here. Bless you all. And the girlfriend's here tomorrow. I might stream Sunday afternoon, your time. Depends what the missus is up to, I think. Look after yourselves. Oh.